Just give me 1 second. Just setting up the YouTube real quick. Can you guys hear me well, or is there an echo? We hear you well? Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, YouTube. Alright. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Reporting for duty. Appreciate you. Guys, while we're waiting for some people to come into the live, inshallah, please, if you haven't already, go and like the recent post on TikTok. It was a funny one for sure for those of you that were here yesterday. If you weren't here, go take the minute to go check it out real quick because it was quite funny. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Day night. I do this every night. I do it every night for like the last what, like 2, 3 weeks now? Maybe a month, almost a month. Tachi the halal hijabi. What's up, Bedouin? Okay. Alright, alright. The kid who thought the Bible was the Quran, yeah. Oh, it's funny. Also on YouTube, if you haven't, I also posted the short on YouTube. If you can, I would appreciate if you interact with it on YouTube as well. I am going to post the video of Muhammad in the Bible as well. I'm just working on editing that one because I want it to come out well with all the proper sources. So be on the lookout for that as well on YouTube. Okay. Care about YouTube people. I do. What do you mean? I just said that I was posting on YouTube. What you mean? Saying Christians 2 to 3 years to Itachi forget. Hey man, 2 to 3 minutes, bro. Not 2 to 3 years. Alright, guys. Let's get the likes up, inshallah, and the shares. Let's get some people in here. Let's have a good live, inshallah. We had really good conversations last night as well. LeBron, ain't nobody believe you, bro. You not in no guest request for an hour. If you want to come up, you could request right now. There's nobody here yet. If you want to save yourself the embarrassment, come up now. Well, nobody's watching yet. How about that? How about that? How about that? Go ahead. Yeah, the request is empty, guys. If he wants to come up, he could request. She said no. Hey, ma'am. Don't be saying, "Oh, I've been in the guest request for an hour." Well, there's 20 other people requesting, and there's somebody already on the panel. Okay. OMG, just watched the Yamuka. That was bad. That was real bad. Come, come. I'll invite you, LeBron. I'll send you an invite. What about that? Let's do that. Ah, I can't invite him. Request May. Request May. If you're so confident that you could refute me, just request. Reported for duty. Appreciate you guys. By the way, I got sent a video yesterday. Funnily enough, a grown man crying because he got cooked. He got absolutely baked by a Muslim woman. Okay. And the video is going viral of him getting cooked by a Muslim woman with the clearest verse. Okay. So he's mad. I know he comes into the live, so I don't want the mods to mute him. Yeah, crying, bro, for literally like 20 minutes straight. Talking about me, talking bad about me. Trying to say, oh, I don't know if it's a he, she, them. Brother, you're double my age and you're playing games as if you're in like middle school or high school. Relax yourself, okay? So if he comes in here, we know who it is, mods. Don't block him, because I know somebody keeps blocking him. I don't know who, though. Don't block him. Just let him seethe and rage in the comments, okay? Unless he blasphemes, obviously, then you can mute him. Are you talking about? No, 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 not Blood. What's his name? One of the Chosen. He's mad. He's big mad, bro. Guest request is showing. Somebody requested and then took the request back, so there's nothing wrong with the guest requests. Can you guys see the guest request button? Oh, haha. I got the recording of it too. It was really funny. Tachi, that pastor is devil. I didn't say you, LeBron. You guys don't see the guest requests. Why not? What the heck? You do? That looks fine on my end. I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay. I don't know. I'm confused. Let's bring up Bassett. Just to make sure nobody's coping. Yo. Well, guest request button is working, guys. So, let's not make any excuses.
What?
Not you. I'm talking to the guy in the chat. The one that's calling himself LeBron James. LeBron James
you
is
in
the
here?
yeah, apparently.
Where?
He's in the comments, bro.
Invite him.
He don't want to come up. He's saying that the
Alright,
guest request button's not working.
me invite him.
I think he's private, so you can't request him.
Okay.
Alright,
Bye.
yalla. Bye. Hello?
Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sister. I just come up to say one thing. First of all, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, reward you, and give you the strength that you continue to do what you do.
Ameen.
Second, I just wanted to know how to support you, sister, in any shape or form.
Literally, just come to the live, support the live, like the live, do whatever you feel is necessary as it pertains to the lives and such, okay?
Yeah, but is there any way that I can support, like I can do anything that, like, because I don't know, I've got a new account, like, I just don't know the system, how a system works. Is there any way that I can support you?
Literally, just joining the live and being in the comments, being active is more than enough, okay? That's all I ask for from you guys.
No worries. All right. I'll find a way if I could financially, like if I can do some charity in your own, I don't know, your own website or something that you can donate for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I can do that too. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you anything you need in the dunya and akhirah. I've been following and watching every single video that you post, sister.
I appreciate it, akhi. Jazakallah khairan.
No worries.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Guys, I appreciate people like the brother that was just here. I know all of you guys that are here. I see the comments for the most part. I don't get to interact a lot with the comments when people are up on the stage, but I see a lot of you guys and the things that you say, both good and bad. But really all that I ask for is that, you know, as long as the content is good, as long as the message of Islam is getting out there to people, if we share the live out, that's really all I ask for. That's it. All right. Let's see who's here. Oh, what just happened? Oh my god.
Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Let's get some non-Muslims in the chat, please. Non-Muslims, if you have an argument against Islam, please bring your argument, okay? Bring your arguments against Islam, and inshallah, we will bring you the truth of the matter in terms of your arguments, okay? Thanks, Oz. Hey, man. These are natural, bro. They don't have arguments. Yeah, it's fine. We know they don't have arguments, but they try. They try their best. I don't know about their best, but you know. You know. I have a ton, but you won't be able to handle them. Bring your arguments. That's literally what I'm waiting for, sir. But I will say, I don't appreciate sofas, so if you start, jargon and all this type of talk, then you're absolutely gonna get booted off, so. Hello?
How you doing? Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm doing well. How about you?
Can't complain, can't complain. So I'm a Hindu. I mean, I'm retired at 36. I've had time to go over every scripture from every religion. Um, so what do you have to say about the findings of the scrolls in the deep sea that they found last year?
Is that an argument against Islam?
Yes, I mean, if you know what's in the scrolls of the deep sea
That
from
was
the
a
Torah and what
question.
they say, this would be a very big, huge thing for the Islam country or community.
Islam country or community? No. Do
I
you have
mean,
an
you guys don't
argument,
have a
sir?
country, let's be honest. 57 countries that you stole aren't yours. So let's start with that if you want to go to that. But yeah, what do you feel about the scrolls of the deep seas that they found last year?
I really don't care. Do you have an argument, sir?
Yeah, the scrolls of the deep sea denounces the whole entire Islam.
Really? Can you make the argument now?
So, in the Quran, right? Which Quran should we talk about? One of the five. You pick one
Sir,
of the
do you
five.
have an argument, yes or no?
Absolutely.
So make
I'm gonna
the
get to it,
argument,
but I'm
please.
leading it. Oh,
Just
you want to
make
get
the
straight to the
argument.
point? Islam
Yes.
isn't a real religion.
Okay, what's
It's a
the
man-made
argument?
religion like Christianity.
So what is the argument? These are statements.
The argument is it was created by a Muslim who isn't a Muslim. He was a Jew, correct?
Sir,
Wait,
do
wait,
you
answer
have
the
an
question.
argument or you
Answer
just
the
have
question.
questions?
This
Oh
is part
man.
of debating. This is how you get to a point. I don't know if you don't know that.
No, the
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 IQ has to
argument.
be the same amount.
Okay. Do you understand what an argument is?
Yeah, the argument is that there's no such thing as a real religion as Islam. It was created by a man and
Sir,
it's fake
do you know the
and
difference
it's ran by
between
a
a
pedophile.
statement? Okay. No problem, ma'am. Have a good day.
I mean, we can talk. You just mad
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah,
giving you
no problem.
facts.
No problem, ma'am. Have a good day. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Cool, I'm good, thanks. Why do Muslims believe a white stone has the power of God? It can remove sins and turn black?
The same reason that Isaiah 6:6 says.
I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. Don't change the topic into Christianity.
Really? You're
Why
not
are
a
you running away
Christian?
into Christianity?
You're not a Christian?
No.
Can you say the Holy
Oh, you
Spirit's
can't
not
change the
God?
topic, huh?
Can you say the Holy Spirit's not God?
The Holy Spirit's not God.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, now explain why
Yeah,
you're trying to
so
change the
as it
topic into
pertains
Christianity.
yeah, because if you were a Christian, which those are the people that usually make that argument, then you would have a double standard,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So
So how did the white stone turn black?
yeah, due to the sins of humanity.
And how do sins affect the color of a stone?
Do you have an actual argument?
So a white stone has the power of God.
Do
It
you
can
have an
remove
argument, sir?
sins and turn
Do
black.
you have an argument? Don't be too
So
excited.
a stone has the power of God.
This isn't
So
your
God gave his
mom's
power to a
house.
stone.
Okay. Again, no arguments. Just a bunch of emotional men. So far, so good. Hey, man. That's what happens every live. It's kind of crazy. Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah. Why did Muhammad have sex with a 9-year-old?
Yo. all these emotional men. No actual argument. Just wants to, blaspheme and trigger. I promise you guys, I'm not that type of person. I just kick you and move on to the next. Hello?
Hi,
How are you?
I'm pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing pretty fine myself. Are you gonna be like the last 3 or 4 guests that came up, or are you a decent human being?
Nah. I just want to say, like, Islam is the truth. I am Muslim myself, so
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, of course. Alright.
Hello? Hello.
Hello. What's up?
Nothing much.
Islam is the truth.
Do you have an
Proven wrong.
argument, sir? You've been here before with the same exact topic. Do you have an actual argument today?
I'm answering the prompt.
You've
Islam
been
is
here
true,
before.
prove me
Do you
wrong.
have an argument, yes or no?
So yes, I have an
Okay,
argument.
make the argument. Go ahead, because you've been here before.
So
Don't
my
act like this is the first time you've been here. Go ahead. What's your argument?
so my argument is, was there when Muhammad was going to see this angel, right? Was he always by himself, or did people come with him?
Great question. Now, where's the argument?
No, I'm just saying. Was people always?
So, no
was he
argument,
always?
yes? No argument?
Why you never answer a question?
Do you have an argument?
And I see what people say. You don't even defend your own religion.
Do you
don't.
have an argument?
That was my argument. I'm trying to get you
So,
to. Did he?
Is
Was he
that an
by
argument
all
or is that a
himself, or was
question?
he?
Is that an argument
Yes, sir.
or is that a question?
So okay, what argue? Okay, let's argue then.
Okay.
So okay,
I didn't say
Muhammad
let's
is a liar.
argue. I asked you, do you have an argument? I
That
didn't
is
say
an
let's
argument.
argue. A question is an argument?
So okay, so do you believe in the Torah? Let's argue then. Let's argue. So give me an example of an argument, since you're so smart. What's an
Okay.
example
I'll
of
give
an
you an
argument?
example of an argument. Yeah, the Quran corrects the Bible and the historical inaccuracies of the Bible in multiple different ways. For example, when the Bible says that Joseph, in Joseph's time period, there was a pharaoh, this was a historical inaccuracy that the Quran corrects. That's an argument, sir. I didn't ask you a question. I didn't say, is this what you believe? I didn't say this. I didn't say that. I stated the statement, right, the argument, and then I gave you the evidence that backs it up. So can you do that?
So y'all believe in the Quran like y'all say. Y'all say y'all believe in the Torah like y'all say. But in the Torah it says Yahweh is the only true God. So how you believe in the Torah, but when in the Torah it says Yahweh, the God of the Israelites, is
You
the only
serious
true
right now,
God?
bro? You serious right now, bro?
Do you have an argument? You just asked me another
That's
question.
it's the same. It's the same example you just gave.
You just asked
in
another
the- you believe-
question. Oh my god.
You believe in the Torah. This is my argument. You see, y'all say y'all believe in the Torah, but in the Torah it says the God of the Hebrew Israelites is the only true God. How can you believe in the Torah and not believe that
I don't
Yahweh is the
believe
only
in the
true
Torah.
God?
I don't believe in the Torah. I just
You're
told you that there's
lying.
a mistake in the Torah that the Quran corrects. So how do I believe in the
What?
Torah? Did you not hear what I said?
And then here go my other argument. Y'all
Oh, this is hopeless, bro. This is actually hopeless. You guys are actually hopeless individuals. Hey man, may God guide you guys, bro, because there's actually no way in hell that you guys are this slow. Hello?
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Me personally, I do not believe that Islam is true.
Do you have an argument?
Prove me wrong that Islam doesn't exist.
Do you have an prove you wrong that it doesn't exist?
Oh yeah, prove me wrong that it exists then. Well, yeah.
Do you have an argument against Islam?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, make your argument, sir.
Right, my argument is that Jesus Christ is the only one and true God.
Okay.
Well, not Son of God, should I say.
Now, do you have an argument against Islam?
Well, that is the argument, that Jesus Christ is the only true Son of God. Not Muhammad, he is not the true Son of God.
I never claimed that. The Quran doesn't claim that.
It does.
Oh, really? Can
Does
you
it or
show me
does
the
it not?
verse? Can you show me the verse?
Well, not the Son of God, but like the messenger of God, you know what I mean?
Okay, messenger of God. Do we say that Jesus is a messenger of God?
I don't know, me personally.
We do. So we believe they're both messengers of God.
Well, in Islam, isn't he?
Isn't he
Is he or
what?
is he not?
I'm sorry?
Is he or is he not in the Quran the messenger of Muhammad?
The messenger of Muhammad?
Yeah, to spread the word of what Muhammad says, you know what I mean?
Jesus.
No, not Jesus.
What are you talking about, sir?
Oh my days. Seriously.
Oh man, seriously, man.
City boy! City boy!
There's actually no way. There's no way that these people genuinely don't know how to make an argument, bro. There's definitely something wrong. There is definitely something wrong, bro. There's something wrong with these people, bro. Okay. Yeah, if you were brought up already and then got dropped, you have to pay the jizya now to come up. Hello?
Hi, good evening.
How are you, sir?
Good. Chilling.
Okay, how can I
So
help
I
you?
have for you a very rare thing. I have an argument.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. That is really rare these days on
All
this
right,
panel.
now,
Go ahead.
I do ask for patience in the way I present my argument. It won't be too long. I just don't want to, disappoint
No
or
problem. Can you just tell me the gist of the argument first before you go into fleshing it out and what it's
yeah.
regarding?
The gist is that the true person to be idolized or to be followed or true entity is Santa Claus. Because my argument is
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I am doing very good. Can I please get your number? I want to call you, okay? I am calling.
No thanks. I don't want to get scammed. Why did you redeem it? Why did you redeem it? Do not redeem it, sir. Call center manager. Catholic, you're not loading in. If you want, you could re-request. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
How are you, sir?
sister. I just want to congratulate you on your patience and God bless you for your effort. Unfortunately, this type of people just don't have it. Like you said, they can't make argument or even state a statement. Thank you. God bless you.
Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Like I said, for the 5 people that are requesting that already came up, if you want to come up again, you have to send a galaxy. Okay? Other than that, you're not coming back, so don't bother, don't waste your time. Catholic, your Wi-Fi is literally straight from, I don't know, from the trenches, bro. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you a Christian, Jewish, atheist?
No, I don't believe in religion like that.
Okay, how can I help you?
Nothing really. I just want to like debate, but honestly, I was an ex-Muslim, so I just left. So I do know a lot about it, trust me.
Okay. So do you have an argument?
Honestly, I just want to hear like what your point is, and then I'll say mine.
My point is that I'm waiting for somebody to make an argument against Islam. Since you said that, you left Islam, naturally you have logical reasons as to why you left, yes?
Yeah, so like
Okay.
the thing about religion is that like there's not really necessarily like obviously in the Quran, I'm not gonna lie, it's very logical compared to other religions, but there isn't any proof that it does exist, you know?
Hold on. You guys can't hear me in the chat? Is it still low? Are you sure it's not your volume, bro? Okay. Yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry, what can you just repeat your question again? Or your
I
statement?
said, so there's quite a few things that just, example, the Prophet Muhammad split the moon in half. It does say that in the Quran, but like really there's literally no proof that someone split the moon in half.
Nobody claims that you could prove that a miracle happened. That's not how it works.
Also, no, but if you think about it, why was there so many miracles back when Islam first came out, but there's no miracles now?
Because the Prophet was there and now he's not here.
So would you say that the Prophet is someone like a higher being? Because
No, he's
the
given
Prophet
the
was...
ability. No, he's given the
Okay,
ability
so
to do
what
those
was
things.
it about the Prophet that he could do all these miracles if he wasn't a higher being?
In the
You know?
same way, in the Quran, when it talks about Jesus, right, and it says that Allah gave him this ability, right, or this permission to do XYZ thing, is the same thing with all the other prophets. Same
But
thing
wait,
with
let me just hear me out.
wait. Okay. In chapter 20, when God is talking to Moses and he commands him, for example, to throw his staff down and it'll turn into a snake, okay, is done by God through the individual, okay? The individual themselves don't have the ability to do that. That's the whole point of a miracle.
I see you, I understand what you're trying to say, but what my thing is that back then it was easy for people to believe in religion, is what you're trying to say, because there was proof that there is religion, because there was miracles, right? Is what you're trying to say. So
No, that's
why
not what
is
I'm
it...
saying. So
Okay, but you
if
said that the Prophet was... There was miracles back then and everything. Why is there no miracles now? Why is there just people saying that there was... Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand, but it's you're a little bit confused. That's why. So, as it pertains to the prophets and their ability to perform miracles, the reason as to why this is the case is so that the message would be propagated faster in their time period. Okay? That doesn't mean that this is an exclusion of us having the ability to, figure out the fact that this is something which is true. So just like the prophets, the people at the time of the prophets had, the ability to witness miracles occur, they didn't have the ability to see all of the prophecies that the prophets had stated regarding the future, right? So for them, the quote-unquote proof that they would receive in terms of being able to see that the prophet, peace be upon him, was true, and all the other prophets prior to them were true, right, is through miracles. For us, it's through prophecies, okay? We have the prophecies. They didn't really have prophecies that would occur in their time period. They had a few, but not many. And we don't have miracles, other than obviously we believe the Quran itself is a miracle. We don't have the miracles, but they had the miracles occur in their time. Okay, so with each respective time period, there's a specific way that you would be able to prove whether or not the religion is true or false. Do you understand?
But I see what you're saying, but I feel like, because I don't agree with any religion, I just feel like with every religion that there was a time where there was a lot of things that couldn't be explained, in a time where order needed to be placed and politics religion did come out of politics. Like Islam came out 1,400 years ago, and my thing is, if it's a human civilization has been around for like 300,000 years. So you're telling me a religion that came out very relatively late, okay, is the truth, you know?
Yep, because it's not based on when it comes out. The truth doesn't depend on when it comes out specifically. Moreover, we believe that Islam is not something that just started with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. It's something that, was propagated by all of the prophets. You said you were a Muslim, so you should know that, right?
No, I do know that, but it's
Okay, so
what
then
about the
it's
people?
not about
What?
1400 years ago. It's something that would have started with Adam,
No,
for example.
obviously it started late on, but it came to the people
No,
around that time. And
no.
my other thing is, if it is about like the word of God, it didn't even come out by Prophet Muhammad itself. It came from after he died, and
Yo, Catholic, you gotta fix your Wi-Fi, bro. Oh wait, no. Okay, you're
Hello, can
working
you
now.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Ah, that's wonderful. Just wait a second. I hope it's gonna work. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
That's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, thanks be to God. I'm okay.
Okay. Do you have an argument
So
against
you
Islam,
asked
sir?
for an argument.
Yes.
So I'll bring a philosophical one. Is that okay?
As long as you're not a sophist, go ahead.
I'm not. I'm a student of philosophy, so that's why I want to bring a philosophic argument. I say that Islam fails on the question of God's nature. Do you understand me by that?
Yeah, go ahead. What's the argument?
So Islam's concept of God is incomplete. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. What's the argument?
And internally tense. And the argument for that, well, an argument you start, I don't know how to say it in English, but an argument you start with a premise. That's how you
Premises,
say it
yes.
in
Premises, go
right.
ahead.
That's two of them. And now, if we see, if Islam strongly affirms the divine unity, right? The Tawheed. So God is only one and one only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there can be nothing besides of Allah. Nothing.
So, you said
right?
you're a student of philosophy, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what are the premises, sir? Just get to the premises.
What a premise is?
No, what are your premises? What's the argument? Like premise 1, premise 2, premise 3, conclusion.
Well, I just said my first premise is that Islam fails on the question of God's nature.
Okay, I disagree with the premise. Can you justify the premise?
Okay, yeah. So, as I was just saying, Islam affirms the divine unity, right? The Tawheed.
So, these are questions. If you have an argument, you already are
It
prepared
does.
with the
Okay.
evidence.
It seems philosophically strong, okay?
I
The
don't
Tawheed.
think so, considering. Oh, yeah, Tawheed is, but I mean, in terms of your argument, I don't really see an argument,
No,
sir.
no. I'm just saying. But however, the unity is absolute simplicity without
No.
relational distinction.
What do you mean by absolute simplicity?
It's
Are
how
you
can I
referring to like
explain that
divine simplicity?
in English?
Are you referring to divine
Yes,
simplicity? No, we
yes,
don't believe in divine
yes.
simplicity.
I don't mean the divine simplicity of Saint Thomas Aquinas.
Okay.
I'm talking about the divine simplicity in the act of God. Do you know what I mean?
No. What does that
So
even mean, sir?
God is of course an essence, right?
God is an essence? That doesn't make any sense. God is his essence and attributes.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
God is his essence and his attributes. An essence does not exist without attributes, and attributes don't exist without an essence.
That's right. They're dependent on each other.
They're
But
concomitant.
would you say
There's not a,
would you
it's not
say that
dependent.
those
Hello,
attributes
hello. They're concomitant.
hello
Yeah, they're concomitant. Do you know what that means?
concomitant?
Yes.
You mean they're not separable from it?
Yes, they are not separable and they necessarily occur together. If one is there, the other is necessarily there.
I understand, but are those characteristics, attributes required?
That's what the word concomitant means. If one is there, the other necessarily is also there, not by way of a
So
dependency.
is, for example,
Okay, sir, so you clearly don't know what you're talking about, and you said you had an argument, and there's no argument. The premise that you gave me was a conclusion. I'm
why
kind
are
of
you mad
baffled.
now?
I'm not mad. I'm just a little frustrated because you said you're a philosophy student. I would think that this is something that's easy for
I
you.
am, yes.
Okay,
Well,
so
philosophy takes time.
yeah, I know
So
it takes
what I was
time, but you should have at least came prepared with an actual argument, not premise one being your
well,
conclusion.
I gave you something, but
You gave
I
me a
was getting into
conclusion as the
that.
first premise.
I was getting into that, but as I'm saying, I'm sorry. English is not my native language. I'm trying. Okay, if we would speak
Okay.
German or Italian, I would speak fluently, but
Okay. I'm not getting on you for
English
the
is just
language.
not.
I'm not getting on you for
Okay.
your language. I don't mind that. I have
Yeah, but you said I should explain, so I'm trying. I'm giving my best, okay?
Okay. Go ahead.
So, as you can imagine, I'm a Catholic, okay? So I have my perspective on a view of something. So I would say God is actus purus, a pure act.
Yes.
But actus purus did not exclude internal relationality. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So we strictly believe, that's a core belief of Christianity, that God is love, okay?
Okay.
And love requires relation. There is no love without a you.
Okay.
So if there's only an I, there can't be love. So an eternal solitary God cannot be essentially love.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
don't believe that he is identical to his attributes. We believe that he has a distinction between his attributes and his essence. So when it comes to relational properties, we're going to say that these are things that occur via a relation. Okay. So when God
That's
creates and there is a relationship to be had between God and the object such that the relation is going to be one of love, then that is going to be dependent upon that particular relationship. That's not an issue because we don't.
but only so that I may understand. Is it like Gregor Palamas teaches that there's the essence of God and the energy of God, which
It's
Islam call its attributes?
somewhat similar to that, yeah, but it's not exactly the same because we don't believe that the energies are identical to God, right? We believe that there's a minor real distinction.
But are the attributes eternal?
The essential attributes are eternal, yes.
So they are uncreated.
The essential attributes, yes. Well, all the attributes are uncreated, but the essential attributes are eternal, yes.
So for a Catholic, this would mean the attributes are God.
Okay, what's the argument though? I know what you believe, and I
That
know what divine
that
simplicity
attributes
is, but I don't believe
that
that it
attributes can't
follows.
be God.
That attributes can't be God. I don't believe that the attributes are God. That's the
I
point.
know that you don't believe it, but what I'm saying to you that what you are saying from a Catholic perspective, from a philosophical perspective, it just makes no sense.
Not from a
Because if you
philosophical
have the
perspective,
essence
no.
of God and his attributes, you have to ask yourself where do the attributes come from?
They
Do they
subsist
come
from the essence.
do they come directly from the essence, or they are coexisting
They
like
subsist. So they subsist in the they subsist in the essence. Like I told you, they are
okay, they
concomitant.
subsist in the essence, but they are uncreated.
Yes, because God is
but
uncreated.
and they are separated, right, from each
No.
other.
No, they are distinct, not separate.
Distinct, right? Right. Not
Yeah.
separated, right? They're distinct. So that's the problem.
What's
Because
the problem,
God
sir?
is one.
Hold on. So
Okay.
wait. Just so
And
that
that,
I wait,
yeah.
one second. So you believe that a real distinction is a problem?
Um, well, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. A
Okay.
distinction.
So hold on. There are different types of distinctions, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there is a conceptual distinction, a virtual
Yeah.
distinction, and a real
Yeah.
distinction, right? And within each of those
Yeah.
three, there's, categories, whether it's a minor virtual distinction, a major a major real distinction, and all these things, right? So in your
Yes.
belief, you believe that the persons are really distinct from each other, right?
The persons are distinct from each other, yes.
Really distinct, right? They're not conceptually distinct, otherwise that's modalism.
Right.
Correct? Okay. So, but you still believe that it is one God, right?
Of course.
Okay.
As it was revealed.
We believe that there is a real distinction in terms of the attributes and the essence, okay? But we don't say that these are all separate, distinct gods, right? The difference between my belief and your belief as it pertains to the real distinction is the fact that we don't believe that the attributes themselves are able to do anything by themselves. They can't exist by themselves, whereas you don't believe that regarding the persons. Okay, you believe that the persons have actual causal efficacy, right?
What do you mean by causal efficacy?
Meaning they're actually
Sorry.
they're able to do things by themselves. Right? Like the Father is able to beget, correct?
So you're talking about the will.
So you believe that the persons of the Trinity are distinct and they
Mm-hmm.
all operate based off of the will. Whereas we don't believe that the
Yes.
attributes have a will and are able to operate by themselves, right?
Right, but
Okay,
well,
so then what would be the difference between the two? If
I
anything, your belief is going to be the problem.
so no, actually not, because we're talking about the attributes.
Mm-hmm.
I understood what you mean, but I'm asking you only one question now about the attributes. One single question. Do you mean it is the different how do you say it in English? I just say difference, you know what I mean? Ontological, or
No.
is it metaphysical?
No,
How is
there's
it?
there's no ontological difference, right? There's only
Okay.
one God.
Then it's a very distinct theology than Palamas,
Yes.
because
So we're
Palamas
not
makes it
classical
very
because
ontological.
Palamas and Aquinas are classical theists. Our position, though I don't necessarily agree with everything, we would say that we're closer to a neoclassical theist position.
Makes sense, yes.
Okay. Maybe if you want, because I don't think that this is really going to get anywhere. I think you probably don't really know Islam too much or Tawheed. Maybe you do, and there's just a language barrier, but I don't think that you actually have an argument. So I'm gonna
But
go on to the next person.
I might ask one question. May I ask one question?
Go ahead, yeah.
Do you believe, because I know Muslims that do believe that, but I don't know if every Muslims believe that, is the Quran uncreated?
Quran is uncreated, but it's not eternal.
Okay. How can something be uncreated and not eternal?
Because it's uncreated in the source. So the source of the Quran refers back to this speech, right? The attribute of speech of God, which is uncreated and eternal. But the Quran itself is going to be something which is temporal. It's an intrinsic attribute, not an essential one. So in terms of the source is uncreated. In terms of the instance that it occurs in, it is something which is temporal. Therefore, it's not eternal.
So this eternal, uncreated book.
No, I just said it's not eternal.
Yeah, sorry. So this uncreated book became uncreated in time.
It didn't become uncreated. It's already uncreated in source.
So the Quran always existed.
No, that's what eternality is. Uncreated means that it's not something that is, dependent upon another thing that exists, right? So God being independent, anything in which God's actions, right? You believe God's actions are uncreated, correct?
Well, I don't really
Well,
understand
one
that
second,
because
just answer. I asked you a question. I didn't make a
oh,
statement.
sorry.
I was saying
Yeah,
you, right? We both believe God's actions are uncreated, correct?
wrong.
You don't believe so God's actions are
You
created?
said, wait, you said God actions.
Okay,
Actions.
yes, you believe in multiple actions. Sorry, one act, right? You still believe that
Right.
one
God
act.
is
Hold on,
one single act,
hold.
actus
Okay,
purus.
but you believe that one act, which by the way is a problem in and of itself. But you believe
Why?
that I'll get to it. You believe that one act is uncreated, correct? Because it's identical to God according to you, so it has to be uncreated.
Um, that's wrong to say
So is the
because
one act created or uncreated?
when we talk about the simplicity of God, we don't even come to even pose those questions.
But I just asked you that question. You're asking me that question, so why can't I ask you that question?
No, because in the Catholic theology, God is in its nature simple, right?
That's
You know
fine.
what it
That doesn't
means.
mean that you ask me questions that you yourself can't answer regarding your God, right? Naturally, if you're asking me a question about God and his
No, I'm not
actions, I can
saying that
also
you
ask you
can't
that.
ask this question. I'm not saying that. I'm saying philosophically, if you think about it, it makes no sense asking these questions
So why are you
because,
asking me this question then?
well, because you don't believe that God is one
You
simple
just
pure
you
act,
just
right?
said that philosophically it doesn't make sense to ask the question, and then you're asking me the question.
No,
But I
to
can't
ask
ask
the
you the
questions
question.
from a Catholic perspective,
Well,
I'm
why the hell
saying,
do I care about your Catholic perspective?
because I'm a Catholic.
Okay, and I'm a Muslim. Okay, you can't ask me these
Yes.
questions. The
No,
scholars say you
that's not
can't
what
ask
I'm
these
saying.
questions.
You didn't understood me. I'm sorry.
So
That's not what I'm
okay, so
saying.
what are you saying, sir?
So I'm saying that if you would ask this question with the knowing that this theology comes from thinking that God is only one pure act, that God is simple, then you don't even come to pose this question.
The question
Because
is very straightforward. This isn't even like a difficult question. You believe that God's
if the
one.
act,
Hold on. You believe God's one pure act is identical to God, correct? That's what divine simplicity is. You're Catholic.
I know what you mean.
I don't think
Let
you do. I don't think you thought about this far enough.
No. I do believe it.
So
I do
then,
believe
okay,
it.
so then,
Yes.
okay. So you believe God's one pure act is identical to God, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And God's
In
action.
metaphysical way.
Okay, yes, that's not
Now I
an
have the
issue.
word.
That's
Yes,
fine.
not ontological.
So there's a different ontology between God and his act.
That's not what I'm saying. I told you metaphysically.
So
Because
okay. So is there an ontological difference between the two?
well, there is in the act no, because in the act
Right.
there's no possibility to, yeah, I don't know how to put it in English.
Right. There's no ontological difference according to you. Otherwise it wouldn't be divine simplicity. That's the whole point.
Yeah, because
Okay. So
as Saint Thomas Aquinas says, Deus ipsum esse subsistens. God is the being in itself.
right, and he is that one act that he performs as well.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one act that he performs, is it created or uncreated?
It's uncreated.
Okay. So when I said that God's action or his action of speech is uncreated, You should not have a problem with that, my friend.
Well, my problem is that you make distinctions
Yeah, but a
in
distinction,
it.
you also believe that there are distinctions in God as well.
For example,
The persons,
but that's not an act.
the person, it doesn't matter. There's still existence.
But that's the essence of God.
Okay. And we don't believe that the attributes are separate to the essence of God. That's the whole point. They're distinct in the same
You
way or
and
similar
that's
way that you would say that the persons
where
are
and
distinct.
that's where we get another way, because you talk about the attributes, but I don't believe in the attributes. I say God is
I'm not,
this pure
yeah,
simple act in
but you
esse
don't believe that in terms
subsistence.
of the persons. That's the whole point. You don't
Um,
believe that a distinction automatically means that there's a multiplicity or anything of the sorts. Okay, bro.
Sorry,
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna
but
move on to the next
just to
person,
put
okay?
it in more easy words, I'm just saying, I'm only making a picture. It's maybe a banal picture, but only to understand. You know, if you have a diamond, the light of the sun shines on it. It's normal sunlight, but on the other side, the light comes in many other colors. So this is what we perceive, but the light is normal. It's simple. You know what I mean? That's the nature of God. What we perceive from this nature of God is what we call his attributes. That's very simple.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
No, but thank you for coming. Hello?
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm alright. What about yourself?
I'm doing pretty fine. How can I help you?
So I'm reading here, Islam is true, prove me wrong.
Yeah, do you
So
have an
to
argument?
me, yes,
Okay, can you make the
I
argument?
believe Islam is carnal in nature
No problem. Do you have an
because
argument?
yes,
Okay,
it
make the
says
argument.
in Jannah people will get Hur al-Ain,
No problem.
voluptuous women.
No problem. How does that disprove Islam, sir?
The Bible says
I don't care what the
the
Bible says.
Pharisees.
The Bible doesn't disprove Islam. How do you disprove Islam?
So why is it so
That's a
carnal
question, not an
that
argument.
it
Do you have an
talks?
argument against Islam that disproves it, sir?
So what do the women get? Why?
Guys, let's get the likes up, inshallah, while we're waiting for this person to load in. I really pray we get one good argument today, okay? Just one. The other guy, he was cordial. He was a nice guy, but the argument was, I mean, it wasn't even an argument anymore, but I don't think there was a language barrier, and I don't think it was going to get anywhere anyway. I appreciate you, Mr. Crazy Brother. Thank you for the gift. Perhaps you should do a Kalam lecture. Why would I do that? Jesus is apologist. You're not loading in, sir, so just re-request and I'll bring you back. Hello?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Are you Muslim?
Yes, sister.
Okay, how can I help you, sis?
Yeah, just I would like to say to the people, like Islamic religion, we see a lot of proof because God, He created the sky, He created the animal, He created the human being, and we see a lot of sign. He make the life, He make the death, and a lot of things like the sign, like before the day of judgment is coming. We all seeing how the world is like close to be ended up.
Yes.
All that like Islamic religion is proving. Islamic religion is not only like just a belief. It's not. We have a lot of proof, proof to believe God. You know, we see a lot of things. We make a dua, we make like a prayer, and we see Allah is answering.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, sister.
Yeah.
شكرا.
Yeah. Jazakallahu khairan. Thank you, sister.
وإياك يا
And
أختي.
okay, do you know, sister Arabic, when Allah say like "ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'idati al hasana"?
Yes.
Yes, please do that, sister. Jazakallahu khairan.
وإياك يا أختي. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. How can I help you?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm a Muslim by faith. I've just got some question to ask, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married to Aisha at the age of 9. A lot of non-Muslims says that was child marriage and that wasn't right thing. But I know obviously if something happened, that happened for a reason, there will be wisdom behind it. If the Prophet married, obviously that was by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what was I'm just trying to learn from my own knowledge. So what was the reason? Can you tell me?
Yeah, I already had a lot of conversations regarding Aisha radiallahu anha. I can send you one of or a few of the lives where I had the conversations, breaking them down with other people, if that's okay with you, Akhi.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Okay, no problem. I'll send them to you.
And just
send me a message. Send me a message now, so that way when I can see it after the live, and I'll forward the videos for you. Okay.
I will do it. Jazakallah. And just one last thing I was going to ask you. Say, for example, if I'm praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something I want to start, and I'm asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me success or give me a failure if that's not good for me. But it ends up I'm doing that thing and I'm struggling in that thing and I'm not succeeding. But then I asked myself a question. I made a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that don't give me success. I mean, if that's not good for me, but I'm still end up doing that thing. So what's what could be the reason?
Yeah, you shouldn't, when we make dua, we should always ask for the better and not ask for, something which is negative. So when we make our du'as, we always have it with the highest intention that Allah is going to give us that which is beneficial to us. So even if we do end up struggling, despite us making a specific du'a, like asking, for example, oh Allah, please grant me wealth, let's just say, and we're struggling with it, okay? It doesn't mean that the dua itself is not answered, right? It could be answered in a way that we're not going to know or see or when it's even going to occur. It could be in this life, it could be in the next life, right? So regardless, when we make our du'as, we don't say, oh Allah, if this is right, then show me the success. If it's wrong, then make me fail in it. No, just always ask for success regardless, okay?
So ask like if it's not good, make it better for me.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it, yes.
Okay. Okay, Jazakallah.
Okay, well,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, T. Titley, American. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Hello.
Hey,
How are you, sir?
I'm alright, and you?
I'm doing pretty fine. Do you have an argument against
So
Islam?
I can frame it as an argument, or I can frame it as a question.
Okay.
Do
Before you
you
talk, are you an atheist, Christian, Jewish?
non-religious?
So an atheist,
Well,
agnostic?
no, I would say I'm deist.
Okay. Go ahead. What's your argument?
I would say okay, premise one, we don't have free will. Premise two, hell exists. Premise three, if we don't have free will, any evil actions that we commit, we're not responsible for. Premise, I don't know, is it four now? There will be people who go to hell for evil actions that they committed. And then conclusion, it is unjust for them to go to hell for actions which they didn't freely choose.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
I'm
do believe
just
that.
doing this off the top of my head. I didn't write it down.
I do believe that we have a sense of free will, so I would reject premise one.
Okay. What is free will?
Yeah, free will just means that we have the ability to make choices in our day-to-day life.
Does that involve being able to have done otherwise if we could
Being
go back in time?
If you could go back in time, which is not really, possible, but if it was the case that I was presented with two particular choices, naturally we would come to the conclusion that we are, based off of our upbringing and what have you, that we are conditioned to make one choice over another at any given point in time, right? That doesn't negate the fact that we still are able to make that choice. Because even, let's just say, I'm this super crazy strong athlete that's, training every day, and usually I would pick an apple over a chocolate bar if I'm presented with the two choices, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to pick the apple over the chocolate bar every single time. It's going to be based off of probability, right? So that probability could be higher or lower based off of those, you know, preconditions prior to the particular moment in which you make the actual choice. But again, just because there's a high or low probability of the two choices doesn't mean that the choice itself was not there for one to decide.
I agree that we make choices. I just don't think that I think the choices are they're actually fully determined, so that you couldn't have actually chosen otherwise.
They are fully determined?
Yeah.
Can you substantiate
So,
that?
so I mean, I would have to refer back to psychology and biology. It's going to be our biology that determines
Go ahead.
some of our, yeah. So I think biologically we are kind of hardwired to enjoy certain things. I don't
Based
know,
on?
let's say that. I mean, would you? I don't know. I just thought this is I don't have a study for this, but we like the taste of sugar, right? Like, I think that's a biological thing. I don't.
But that's based off of each individual's particular, quote unquote
Biology.
hard wiring, yeah, or their biology. It's not going to be a blanket statement for each person, because, for example, having an affection towards sugar doesn't mean that everybody's going to enjoy the same sugary things, right? Some people may enjoy it at a very high rates, other people may enjoy it at a very low rates, if anything at all, right?
Yeah, but I
So
think
it's
that's all
not
explained by biology.
how. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you have damaged taste receptors, then yeah, you may
You don't
enjoy
need
it
to have
less. If
damage
you're,
straight. You don't. It doesn't need to be a damage. It could be two normal people who just one has a higher affinity towards sugar while the other doesn't.
and do you think there's an explanation for why one has a higher affinity than the other?
It could be a number of different things. Somebody could be traumatized. Somebody could be this. Somebody could be that. Doesn't mean it's hardwired into their biology. It's something that could occur through different natural things that occur within a person's lifetime.
Yeah, that's right. Either,
Right, I, for example, I used to like bananas when I was younger, but now I don't like bananas anymore because I used to eat them a lot when I was younger. And or even, I'll give you a better example, eggs. I used to like eating hard-boiled eggs when I was little up until, one day I was going ice skating and I threw up. And I stopped eating eggs after that. I don't like hard-boiled eggs anymore because of that. That's not hardwired. That's because of a specific event that caused me to have, a lack of liking towards the thing, right? And not
I
many
do.
people would experience something like that. So,
Yeah, I mean, I would say in that case, the environment kind of had an effect on your hardwire.
okay, but you have to substantiate that. You're appealing to hardwiring, but you're not actually making a case for it.
You said sweet things. I was specifically referring to sucrose, sugar. So I don't know anyone would, I mean, the only people that would dislike just straight sucrose sugar, right, in a small amount, I think they are just biologically built differently.
No, I don't like sugar. I actually prefer to eat saltier foods over sugary foods.
Okay, so why do you like salt?
Because it is appealing to me. It's something which satisfies, my taste buds over that of sugar. So if I'm
Right,
put with
and
a choice between something super sweet or something which is more salty than sweet, I'm going to naturally choose salty.
yeah, and do you think that your brain has something to do with your enjoyment of salty food?
No, I think my tongue does, which, my brain receives the receptors in terms of, liking or disliking the thing, but it's not the actual thing itself that is choosing whether or not I like it. My tongue is.
Well, I mean, the tongue is just, is going to relay an electrical signal to
Yeah,
your
but
brain, and then
relaying the
it gets,
signal, but the signal is being relayed from where? The original, sense that we're getting from the actual, object that enters your mouth is from the tongue itself. So that's going to be the source, not the brain.
that's the source, but the cause, the proximate cause of the pleasant sensation is the brain.
Yep,
It's not the tongue.
right, because it's receiving something from the tongue. So it can't be
Yeah,
the
that's the,
actual cause.
well, it's a distal cause. You can have two causes.
Sure, yeah, it's a distal, sure, no problem. It's a secondary cause, but it's not the actual cause. So it in and of itself is not efficient in terms of, telling me why I do or don't like something. There has to be something that comes prior to it. So it
I mean,
can't, if it's the case that it's not an efficient cause standalone, then we can't say that it is the reason as to why one is predisposed to one thing or the other.
I think if the brain area that lights up, right, when you eat sugar is stimulated, even in
Right.
the absence of
But
sugar,
even
you could,
regarding what you said, which we agree on, is that it's something which is a secondary cause, but it by itself is not an efficient cause, right? It can't be an efficient cause because there has to be something else, a primary cause that actually triggers it to do so. So if it's not the primary
I
cause or
don't,
if it's not an efficient cause, we can't say that it's the reason why.
I get confused with efficient cause language.
So
I take like a,
efficient cause just simply means that it satisfies all of the conditions to say that it is the reason why this occurs.
okay, I mean, this is going to get into philosophy really quickly. I take like,
Well, free will is a philosophy topic, my friend. Like that's not
okay, okay, sure. So I take Mackey's nexus of causal conditions approach to causation. So it's
Okay.
like you can't actually just pick out one thing and say this is the cause. It's actually almost any event in our day-to-day lives, it's actually multiple things that need to come together for you to get a certain effect.
Right.
And you can arbitrarily pick out one of those things, but that's maybe based on causal distance. Like, is it somewhere down the line? At what point in the line? Is it because, yeah, basically that's one reason we do so. So
Okay. Yeah, I
I
understand.
would say like, mhm.
But where I would disagree is to say that it would definitely be the case that, all of these things come together. You must now choose, or like when you're presented with a choice, you are necessarily binded by that particular choice that you make, right? I would look at it more as a probability thing. So I don't believe that it's the case that you would have to say that it is always having to be the case given the, prior conditions and such that you are
Yeah.
going to
I
make
mean,
that choice.
I've heard of a distinction between ontological and epistemic probability. And I am more inclined to think of this probability that you're speaking about in an epistemic way,
Okay.
which means that in the real world there's no like probabilities. It's not like quantum.
I'm not
Maybe
saying
it's
that it literally exists, like you could like grasp the probability, like as in like you can rate it from 100 to 1, right? I'm saying more so like the example that I first gave you about an individual who goes to the gym a lot, they take care of their body and all this stuff. Yeah, they are more likely, right? You could say probability in terms of likely, not likely. We could use it as like a kind of scale type thing, right? They would be more likely to eat an apple after going to the gym as opposed to eating a chocolate bar. But the odds of them eating the chocolate bar is not zero, right? Because they are still there. They're presented with the choice to either choose the apple or the chocolate bar. And based off of those prior conditions, they would be inclined towards the apple, but it doesn't mean that they don't also have some sort of affinity towards the chocolate bar as well, such that they would also be able to make that choice. That's all I mean by making a choice, is that they have, you know, the ability to decide on something without an external force making them choose something otherwise, right?
Yeah, but that's like, um,
That's what they mean when we speak in philosophy. For the most part, that's what it means to be able to make a choice, right? Is that your ability to react in a certain situation is not something such that you're being forced to make that decision. It's something which you are able to do of your own volition.
is that the compatibilist one?
Yes.
The compatibilist free will?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think compatibilist free will, it doesn't seem to me to be enough to kind of give you um, uh, moral responsibility, the kind that.
Yeah, but in my paradigm, so I wouldn't say that it's going to strictly follow like, the philosopher's view in terms of compatibilism. We're just going to simply say that there are certain predetermined things, such as, the family that we're born into and all of these like societal, environmental things, such that, you're more inclined towards a specific way of life over another. And due to that, you obviously, when you start to make actual choices for yourself, you would probably be making them differently had you lived in any other type of society. But in terms of being forced to choose X, Y, or Z, in terms of choice, I don't believe that there would be that you're forced to decide on any one particular thing. Because again, you do still have your own volition. So it would have to be an argument against the ability to make choices based off of volition as opposed to, force, which I don't really think that there's a good argument for that.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm forced, right? Like in terms of there's like another human being forcing me to do it, but I would say I'm forced in a different sense. It's my biology along with my past history, like my environment,
Yeah, but then that's
all
not
those.
force, right? That's just you choosing based off of your own volition. Your
Yeah,
volition,
yeah,
you
but
yourself, like your own, biological status and all of these, or biological state, I'm sorry, is still you. So if it's you and you're the only one who is influencing that decision, irrespective of the fact that, you have other, states in terms of your mind and all of these different things, you're still the one who's making that choice, not somebody else making you do it, or something
yeah,
outside
yeah,
of yourself making you do it. That's the whole point.
yeah. I agree that it's me doing like making that choice,
So then
but
you do have
the idea
choice.
that no, I think I always said I do have choice, but it's not one that I think um kind of meshes together really well with the idea of like hell.
Okay, but you haven't actually presented a good argument for it yet so far.
Um, let's say
I think, how about this? How about,
yeah,
go look into the Islamic position in terms of, what we believe about free will and stuff, and then you could come back by all
okay.
means. You're a respectful guy, so I have no
Yeah,
problem with you bringing you back once you
okay.
look into it and stuff. Okay?
I've already read the what the Ash'ari believe about
I'm
this,
not an
but
Ash'ari, brother. I'm not an Ash'ari.
right,
I
right.
know they
So
believe something completely different. I would agree with you that they're wrong, so that's
I've
fine.
yeah, I've read their doctrine of Casp, but I'm assuming
Yes.
then if you're not an Ash'ari, you're probably an Athari, right?
Yes, I'm an Athari, but I don't believe in Kesp. That's for sure.
Okay. So who would you recommend I read
You could
within
read
the Athari tradition?
you can read Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah. I'm sure in Majmu' al-Fatawa he probably speaks about it. Um, I don't really know any books in English that there are in terms of free will. I could look for one and recommend it to you if you'd like, but I don't know one off the top of
Yeah,
my head that he talks about it.
yeah. I mean, even if it's in Arabic, I can just use ChatGPT to translate it. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think he definitely speaks about it in Majmu' al-Fatawa. I would just, go on ChatGPT, ask it, which volume of Majmu' al-Fatawa does Ibn Taymiyyah talk about free will? And then you could read it there.
okay,
All right, man.
okay. See.
Okay. Have a good night. Yeah, I mean, Yahya, anything can be defended. The problem is, like, do you want to defend something like that? Like that, I don't know, like, it doesn't sit right with me. I agree with you that anything can be defended, but it definitely doesn't sound right, so I wouldn't recommend it as a proper position. All right, guys, if you're a non-Muslim, please request.
Yo, speaking of Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Taymiyyah is from the Salaf, and Ibn Kathir is the student of Ibn Abbas, right? And since Ibn Abbas taught Ibn Kathir, and Ibn Taymiyyah is from the Salaf, it would then necessarily follow that Ibn Taymiyyah is Ibn Abbas, therefore Ibn Kathir is the student of Ibn Abbas, and Ibn Taymiyyah is from the Salaf. Understand? That's a modus ponens inference rule. Get it?
Are you serious right now, bro?
Okay. Do y'all remember that ex-Muslim lady? The Moroccan one? Her name is Maria. She was requesting earlier. I don't know why she left. She realized that when I was talking to somebody else that she wasn't going to be able to keep up, bro. Hello?
Hello?
How are you, ma'am?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty fine myself. How can I help you?
Okay. You'll have to forgive me. I thought this was an interesting topic. I'm kind of jumping in cold here.
No worries.
You asked if someone was not Muslim, and I am not, so I'm jumping in the conversation.
Okay. How can I help you? Do you have an argument or anything?
No, I don't really. I find these kinds of conversations most effective when we consider that, all religions and all paths have, when they have a common denominator of compassion, love, forgiveness, understanding the human condition, almost all religions can be respected and valued and hold weight in the world. And I think that when we're looking at a lot of different perspectives, having the ability to say, if you feel a certain way or you have a certain belief system that is to be honored and respected, I think we run into sticky territory when we try to move over another perspective to say that person's perception of reality is certainly not the perception of reality. I think there's an infinite numbers of perceptions of reality. I think that there's a lot of different ways that we can practice a variety of faiths. I think how we anchor ourselves to truth and source and goodness is very unique. And I think any religion, whatever the religion is, enjoy it, embrace it. Where I come from, or my belief systems are, never tell someone what their religion should be, whether that is done covertly, directly, overtly, or insidiously, or manipulatively. Those kinds, and this is the work that I do, those frequencies or those energies are just simply low frequencies. Higher frequencies, higher energies are love, compassion, joy, playfulness, connection, mutual respect. And if you're able to do that, and if a human being is able to say, I am not Muslim, I will never be Muslim, but God bless you, and enjoy that. And if you're getting value out of that, if you're evolving your consciousness through that, and you're connecting to others of like mind and philosophy, more power to each person. I think where I feel sort of off is when there's a kind of an oppressive energy that comes into the space where someone says, my religion is better than your religion. That's like saying, my red shoes are cuter than your blue shoes. We're all so unique, and no one really, unless there's an air of arrogance in it, really knows the complexities of what an individual human being really is. And I think if religions were more humble in recognizing that, we're all human beings want the same things. They want to feel free. They want to feel healthy. They want to be beautiful. They want to love and be loved. They want resources to survive. I think that, we hang ourselves on this religion or that religion. I think if truth to me is that which is good and beautiful for a human being.
Nini! Yo, I wouldn't have cracked if Nene didn't do that, bruh. That's Nene's fault. Yo. She's nice. But like, that's not how you have a you don't sit there for like 5 minutes talking and have a you have to have a conversation. Like, it's not just like somebody speaks for like 5 minutes and then finally somebody else gets a word in just to speak for 5 more minutes. No, I meant if you didn't put the laughing emoji, bruh, I wouldn't have cracked. My frequency ain't frequency. It's nice, but she already said she's not gonna believe in Islam regardless. So I mean, there's not really a point to have a conversation there anyway. So I don't like when people come on with like this. She was talking about arrogance. That in and of itself is arrogance, bro. Because you don't even know if it's true or not. If it's true, why would you not become a Muslim? If it's not true, then you should convince me not to be a Muslim. I respect facts and concrete evidence. I do as well. I do as well. She is anime Malala. Itachi getting tested. Bro, I'm always getting... Every time I open up one of these lives, I'm getting tested, man. No sound. YouTube, can you guys hear me or no? Can you guys not hear me on YouTube? Oh, okay, I guess there's one person. Okay. Still talking. Anyway. Alright, guys. If you're a non-Muslim and you value truth, okay? Because I value truth. If you also value truth, by all means, let's have a conversation and discuss what is true and what is false. Okay? Let's discuss. Let's see who actually has the truth and who doesn't. And the loser of the two of us submits to the other. How about that? Provided that what you provide is true evidence and not just rambling. But yeah. To eternity later, still talking.
We do not
Should have
care.
hit her with that one. Should have hit her with that one.
We do not care.
But she was nice, so I didn't want to do her like that. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, sister. You seem like a nice person, but I didn't see that the conversation was really going to go anywhere. It wasn't really a conversation. What's Gasp in layman terms? I'll talk to you about it after, Hamada, if you want. I'm not going to talk about that on the live. She was arrogant. It's okay. It's okay. If you're a non-Muslim and you think that you can get a poor, oppressed Muslim woman, according to you, not according to me, according to you, to leave Islam, please request. I'm waiting. I'm begging. I've been waiting for good arguments. We had one semi-good argument and it wasn't even good. Like, the guy didn't even know what we believe, so. But if you think you know Islam, and you think you know how to disprove Islam, and you think you have an actual argument and not 500 questions, hit that request button. Smash that request button and come up here and bring it on. Bring it on. There's 235 of y'all in here. I doubt every single one of you guys is a Muslim. So let's see. Let's go through the request list, guys. Let's see who's here. We're gonna start calling people out by name. How about that? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Shadow Slays, you don't look like a Muslim. By the way, if you are a Muslim and I say you don't look like a Muslim, my apologies. Let's see. Milwaukee Buck. Okay. Phobia. Rava. Legendary 777. Alex Williams 1119. If you hear your name, I'm calling you out. Selu Satina, just for Pape. Tremendous MAGA fan. Michael. VXVXZVX. Okay. If you heard your name, I'm not going through everybody, there's a lot of people. If you heard your name, or you didn't hear your name and you are a non-Muslim, by all means request. None of them are requesting Vault. I would love to talk to any of them, but they're not requesting. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, May. Are you afraid? And if you're on YouTube and you want to request, you don't need any followers on TikTok to request to have a conversation on here. As long as you have a TikTok account, you could come to TikTok and request and come up on the live, by all means. Tashi quit boiled eggs the moment she discovered 3 chickens. Yeah. Itachi, do you follow the Salafi movement? What does that even mean? Wait till you get Katsumi Apologetics requesting. Who's that? Are you talking about Ken? Please not the Mega fan. They're not requesting, so I'm not like there's literally no one requesting, guys. I can't have a conversation with no one unless you guys want me to just start debating ChatGPT. I don't mind. I'll show you that ChatGPT can't stand a chance, bro. I came to see some cooking. Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. Yo, Nini, chill out, bro. Don't pin comments, because I think it messes it up the layout here, because then it messes up the layout on YouTube. Anyone brave enough to face Itachi? Apparently not. Apparently these strong Christian men, which by the way, I don't know if you guys, for the people who weren't here in the beginning, but we have a little friend of ours that got refuted the other day. Well, he's not a friend, he's just a filthy kafir. Little friend that got refuted, little kafir that got refuted the other day. Crying on his live about me for 20 minutes straight. I kid you not. 20 minutes straight, mans was sat there crying about a Muslim woman cooking him. And then proceeding to make the same trash argument to people, bro. You cannot make this up. That guy, one of the chosen. If you haven't seen that video, you missed out, bro. That was an embarrassment. He came up here all confident and arrogant, thinking that I was gonna let him talk and talk and talk. Nah.
Yo, bro. Oh, yo, bro. You gotta formally debate that guy, bro.
Absolutely not. What the heck? It's not even worth a
Why not?
formal debate. He wasn't even
Oh,
worth the
so
1
what?
minute I actually spoke to him for.
It'll literally be such a bad burial that like you'll get him off the app.
But what's the point of that? I'm not here to like just have random debates with random people. He's literally not worth the time, bro.
But you were gonna debate Tiger. Tiger is even more lower tier.
Tiger, I've never spoken to Tiger before. That's different. But this guy's like, I've spoken to him already, and there's nothing of substance to talk about.
Oh
He
man.
doesn't even know how to
Okay,
make a
well.
proper argument, bro. At least Tiger
He-
could probably make an argument. He can't make an
No,
argument.
she can't. She
She can.
can't.
She can. I've seen her before, bro. It's not good
Nah,
arguments, but she can make an argument.
bro, she's got so many chromosomes, bro. What are you talking about? Actually, you know what?
Chill
That's
out,
chosen.
Chill out. Chill out.
Okay, fine. That's chosen though, actually.
Okay.
Can you not tell that chosen's a little
I mean,
challenged?
listen, he was crying all night long, bro. He's
You have it
been
recorded?
imagine that was like yeah, I do have it recorded. I can send it to you after. It was funny.
Bro, he was sitting on a live and reacting to himself getting cooked.
Not reacting. He was literally just talking to himself on the live. There's no video, nothing. He's just talking to the comments. He was like, this Itachi person, this girl or man, I don't know what they are. They, them. Grown man, by the way, double my age, talking about like that. That's how
Funny,
that's
bro.
what Jesus taught them, apparently, guys. That's the love of Christianity. Ain't no hate like Christian love, man. Ain't no hate like Christian love. I can't lie, he's too low tier to even talk about facts.
Wait, if he requests again, are you gonna let him up? One of the
Absolutely
chosen.
not. He's been requesting for 4 days straight, trying to come back and cope. He's not getting back up here. I just let him seethe and rage in the comments, bro. Because it's the funniest thing ever.
Does he comment?
He does, but then he gets muted and blocked because I guess he blasphemes.
Oh yeah, he's He's a dog. He's a
yeah.
blasphemer, actually.
Ah,
Now that I think about it.
that's all good. Anyway,
There's literally no one in here, bro. Okay, I'm gonna go down. Maybe there's gonna be someone come up.
all right. If you'd like to come up, please press 1. If you're afraid, please press 2. Tachi, this is her and she's nice. Tachi, let me see the clip. I'll send it to you after, hold on. Ain't no love like Christian hate. It's the other way around. It's ain't no hate like Christian love. He's the one who you said that he's a mushrik in the... No. He's the other one. The one that spoke about salvation in Islam. It's like, I think it's like the third video. Third video down. You goofed it. Yeah, you did, Nicholas. It's okay. I would come up, but I'm ordering food. You can come up after you're ordering your food. If you're cooked, press 5. Facts. If you're cooked, press 5. If you're a dhimmi, press 2. Okay, got it. Christian love is interesting. They'll yell at monks walking for the sake of peace. Hey, by the way, since we're just waiting and nobody's here yet, please go interact with the recent TikTok posts. Let's get it out there and let people see that Christians don't actually know the Bible to the point where they literally think that the passages of the Bible are the Quran. So please go and get that. Please go and like that post, repost it, and then come back here, inshallah. If you can. I'd appreciate it. And if you're not already following, hit the follow button at the top. And yes, please also subscribe to the YouTube if you can. Just watch the long videos, not really the shorts, because there's no way I'm getting to 3 million short views. But if you can, I'm almost like halfway at the long form video views. So if you could watch those long videos, even if you have them playing in the background, I don't mind. And just, get them out there on YouTube so that people could also see it. The more the view count goes up, the more it's like watched by other people, I guess. I don't really know how YouTube works, but only if you get like 3 million views off the shorts, yeah, you can start to get stuff off of that. You can start getting monetized. I don't know if you actually make money off the shorts though. What's your YouTube? My YouTube is the same username as my TikTok, Dawa X Dialogues. You have to put the @ in the beginning for some reason. And the link is in my bio as well, so if you just click the link in my bio, it'll take you straight to the YouTube. Are you posting more videos in the future? Yes, I am. I was working on one before I went live, but I didn't get to finish it. It's one about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Bible. It has two conversations with the same guy, actually, the one from last night. But I was trying to just put all the references in it. That way you guys could actually benefit from it as opposed to just like having to go and look for the references yourself. So all the references will be there for the things that I say so that you guys could use it in an argument if need be. And that way you could substantiate what it is that you're saying. All right? Let me see what this brother wants. Hello.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How can I help you, bro?
Yo, just quick question, okay? I was asked this question by a friend, chapter 2, verse 6 to 7, if you can just pull it up.
Verse 6 to 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. What's the question?
Yeah. So it just says, indeed, those who disbelieve, it's the same whether you warn them or do not warn them. They will not believe. Allah has sealed their hearts and their hearing and over their eyes in a veil. So he was just asking if there's free will, why would Allah seal their hearts so they can never find the correct path?
Yeah, so it is free will still because the individual themselves, it says that it's the same whether you tell them or not, right? Whether you inform them of the truth or you don't inform them of the truth, they're still going to be arrogant in their way. You understand? So they don't want the truth, essentially.
I see, but he was just basically asking, why would Allah seal their hearts though? Why would he do that?
That's what they wanted, right? They don't want the actual truth. They want to stay, on the deviated path. So if they want that, Allah gives them what they want. In the same way where somebody wants the truth, Allah allows for the truth to be seen very, very clearly, right? If you notice, I don't know if you watch the live too much, but there's certain different types of personas that come up here, right? And some people are very, easygoing. We could have a conversation and they're not like I won't say argumentative. There's even the sincere ones, they can be argumentative, but more so like they're not arguing just to argue. They're arguing because they want to know, like they're giving pushback, right? Because they want to know what is actually true. Is what she's saying actually going to hold up against scrutiny? And when it does, they can concede to the points, right? Whereas there's other individuals who will just keep pushing and pushing and pushing on a point, even if you already gave them the answer, even if they see the answer for themselves and they just start to go into a different point or a different question to avoid the actual answer that you gave them, right? So those two different groups of people, one of them is genuinely looking for truth. The other one already feels as though that's what they have is true, and there's nothing else that could be otherwise. Okay. So that person, their eyes are sealed, their hearts are sealed, their ears are sealed, right?
So is it just for specific people? But like for instance, he asked me, like, there could be a person who's arrogant now for like a couple years, but then after that, it can open his heart,
There
But
could
that
be
would
some
not.
sort of event that occurs where that person, has a change of heart, absolutely. But that doesn't take away from it depends on the person's state of mind, right? If their state or that point in time in their life is, I don't really care what anybody else says, I'm just gonna do what I think and nobody else could tell me that I'm wrong and all this stuff, that person's heart is sealed there, right? But it doesn't mean that it lasts forever. Something could happen to them where they end up, looking at things from a different perspective and what have you, right?
So it's just as in the moment it's sealed, but like it could be after maybe some time it could be unsealed. Is that what are you saying?
Could be the case, yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean that's a fair answer. All right. Thank you then. Shukran.
Afwan salam. Hello.
Yo, hello.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, so why is that only the Shias in Iran is helping Palestine, but you people are doing nothing? Why is that?
Are you Muslim?
Just answer the question.
I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to ask.
Answer the question. Obey.
Go obey your father, bro. You look like you don't even wipe your booty. Telling me to obey. I don't listen to a man that doesn't wipe his booty, bro. Hello?
I figured it out even more. Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Abbas, right? They have like a hypostatic union, okay? So Qua Ibn Kathir,
Bro, I'm literally trying to disconnect them. It's not working. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, sir?
Good, good. I was up the other day. I'm a non-Trinitarian Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked a little bit about Jesus's birth. You referenced the chapter to go read. I'm embarrassed to say I haven't been able to go read it yet, but the where in your religious text where it says that Jesus spoke and that's why he was saved, I believe.
No, that's why Mary was like protected because he spoke in the
No,
cradle,
right.
yes.
Mary was protected.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I still need to go read that. Tell me again which where that exactly is.
It's chapter 19. It's literally called Maryam, right? Or the chapter of Mary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay, man.
I had a question. It just occurred to me.
Go ahead.
Whenever I was sitting here listening, why do you think in the world that the media wants to pit Christians and Muslims against each other so much, and tries to vilify Muslims to Christian audiences?
It's more of a scapegoat, right? So if you look back at when this actually started beginning, it wasn't just during, that specific day in 2001. It wasn't after that or anything. In fact, it occurred before that. Because what was happening at the time is that there was, certain areas, there was a discovery of, the quote unquote black gold in that area, right? In the Middle East. So there had to be some sort of excuse that was made to try and get these people, to paint out these people as being, villainous and they're not like us and all of this stuff, to get the people on our side, right, in America and all of this stuff, to kind of see the Muslims in the Middle East and such in a specific way. right? So once they were able to accomplish that, to get the people to view the Muslims in the Middle East in that way, for example, even just take what's been happening for the last like almost over 2.5 years in Palestine. A lot of the people, despite them seeing the deaths and the casualties and all these things of the Muslims in Palestine, they don't actually really care, right? Because they don't see those individuals as human beings like them. They see more as like, you know, they're just their enemy, right? They're the enemy. Whereas obviously on our side, we're not looking at it that way. It's more of just like these people came into our lands and they're taking over and they're trying to steal our resources and stuff like that. So now the people on that side are also upset because their resources are being taken. They can't do anything about it. They're almost being subjugated by a lot of these outside countries. And it's more of just like a power thing. They want the resources there without actually having to pay for it, right? They lay claim to the land, which is what happened a lot in the Middle East.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like if I don't think the average Christian knows that Muslims have any reverence for Jesus at all. I don't think that the average Christian has any idea that he's a prophet for Muslims that they believe will continue to fulfill prophecy in the future. And I feel like I wonder why that bridge is not being why there's so much animosity when there's other religions that think so poorly of Jesus,
right?
And would say the worst things about him.
No, like for
And
example, like when
those
people. Oh, my bad. I
yeah, I was
think I'm
just gonna
lagging
say
a bit.
I was gonna say those people with those religions are fully accepted in America.
Right. I think I know what you're
It's
talking
crazy.
about. When people
Yeah, I
say,
mean, I'm
"Oh,
not trying to say it, but
Judeo-Christian values," but in
right, that's
reality,
crazy to me.
yeah,
That's crazy to me.
I get you,
It's
man.
like it's like the guy who was the way short as a Christian uh, to show us how to have dominion over this world and sin and sickness and death. They think that he was the lowest of low, and in the Talmud it says terrible things about
Right.
him burning and excrement and things like that. And then but they're fully accepted, they're not vilified at all. But then you have Islam, who actually believes very good things about Jesus,
Right.
and everyone's trying to pit Christians and Muslims against each other.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they would want to do it against those two, right? If you look at the more like political aspect of it as well. But even so, like, it's not even just about, I personally, from my perspective, I would look at it as, you know, we have to sort of cover up in any way, shape, or form the idea that this religion is even remotely true, right? By trying to, propagandize and all of these different things against it. Because a lot of people, when they read the Quran or they learn Islam for what it truly is, they see how much it lines up with the prior prophets, and then they end up becoming Muslims. Like, for example, there was this guy in Norway, I believe it was in Norway or Holland or something. He was literally like the most radical anti-Islam person you could think of in that area, right? He was so keen on writing a book against Islam, right? And all of this, like, against it, right? Completely against it. He thought he hated it and all of this stuff. And he hadn't even read the Quran yet at that point, right? And then when he started reading the Quran, the more he read it, the more he became infatuated with Islam up until he became an actual Muslim. Right? This is a real. I mean, it was like, I think it was like a politician or something in the area, but I think there's like documentaries about him and stuff like that, or like, not documentaries, like more of like reports about him and stuff. And on YouTube, he comes and he speaks about it as well. And that's just like one example out of many, right? So a lot of people, they think they know Islam based off of some stuff they hear in the media, but like you said, They actually don't know a lot. They don't know that we actually have Jesus as a figure, or that we believe that he is blessed. We believe all of these amazing. We believe he's the Messiah. I get a lot of people up here thinking, "Oh, I didn't know that you thought that Jesus was the Messiah and such," right? So
Hmm.
it's more of a perspective thing, and I would definitely say that for the people who haven't read the Quran, the very bare minimum that an individual can do to educate themselves on a religion is to just see what the religion says for themselves, right? Not what other people try to portray the religion as being, right? Which is why, like, for example, the one chapter I do genuinely like to recommend to Christians is chapter 19, because it talks about Jesus, peace be upon him. Chapter 19 and chapter 5, there's a lot of chapters that talk about him, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's just that's just wild to me. I feel like, and then also from the other side, with Islam, if I feel like if Muslims knew that true Christianity didn't believe that Jesus was God, one and the same,
Yeah,
but that
we
Jesus was a
believe that.
man.
We believe that
Yeah,
true
right.
Christianity
But if
doesn't believe
but
that it's three gods.
right.
Yeah.
Well, but so many Christians believe that Jesus is God. And so what I'm saying is if Islam knew that Christians didn't think Jesus was God, what I'm saying is if they viewed Christianity as being a non-Trinitarian instead of Trinitarian, what it's been sort of bastardized into, I feel like that would also be helpful.
Absolutely. I mean, I think actually, if anything, a lot of Muslims do recognize that, right? It's the reason why we even speak to a lot of these Trinitarians, right? A lot of the Trinitarians, when we speak to them, what are we convincing them of? That Jesus said that he's not God, that he said that there's only one true God, and he said that he doesn't want sin sacrifice and all of these different things, right? Like
Right.
this is literally what when Christians come on my panel, that's what I talk about with them, right? I get them to count, I get them to do all types of like jumping through hoops and all these things that's just to try and, convince somebody of, three and one and all of these things. But yeah, it was chapter 19. I want to give you one more verse. I'll read it for you really quick. You don't have to, if you want, you could go and read that chapter as well, but I don't want to double down on your homework when you haven't read the first one yet.
Yeah.
It's chapter 5, verse 83 in the Quran. And it says, when they listen to what has been revealed to the messenger, you see their eyes overflowing with tears for recognizing the truth. They say, our Lord, we believe, so count us among the witnesses. Okay. So this is kind of along the lines of what I'm saying in terms of people who didn't know Islam, and then they later actually go and see what it is for itself and the impact that it could have on an individual's life. Even, for example, Thomas Jefferson, he wasn't a Christian or a Muslim or anything, but he held Islam to a really high regard in terms of like the laws, right, that were instilled or instated through Islam themselves. So much so that he used to carry a Quran around everywhere, right? So people could recognize, some sets of truth within the religion in many different ways. Some people come through, just the unity of individuals. Some people come through prophecy. Some people come through the stories of the prophets, the story of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him himself, or the Quran itself. There's like a number of different ways that it goes about it. The whole point is that when somebody like recognizes something as being true after not having known it before, right? It would be pretty emotional for the person, right?
Oh, I think that spiritual experiences are when they're real and true are very moving
Right.
emotionally, definitely. But I gotta run to dinner. But hey, thanks for bringing me up, and I'll
No
I'll get a
problem, man.
chance to read that soon.
No problem. God willing. Have a good night.
You too.
Genuine guy. Yeah, he is. He's been on here before. He's a good guy. Hello?
Shoot.
What am I looking at? Please don't.
Hold on.
I got you. Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. God bless. I'm good.
Man,
If you leave the screen, I can't hear you, by the way. Seems maybe the first time on TikTok, I don't know. I can't hear you if you leave. You have to come back. No, I'm not ignoring you. I'm going in order, Athanasius.
hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. I was just clearing some stuff from my. You know when you like hold too many things in your like you have to clear the. Oh my gosh, never mind. Anyways, it's okay. I just wanted my thing to stop glitching.
No worries.
So, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Are you
Hello?
Muslim, sister?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I can
awesome.
hear you. Can you hear me?
So, Annette. No, Muslim adjacent. I'm like sort of Sufi, but also spiritual, and I believe in God, and I'm not only Muslim. Like I left Islam, and it was very, very difficult because it hurt a lot, and it sort of put me in a lot of turmoil, and I learned a lot about different religions. I started going to Bible study. Not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I'm more of like, do you know Carl Jung?
No.
So he's a psychoanalyst, and he believes like where it's like it's one thing to believe that God exists and another thing to know God exists. And so I consider myself knowing that God exists, which really does feel different because I used to be agnostic and not know if God exists. And again, that was a painful place to be in. So I'm sort of just like here because I would love to have a conversation with you about how I believe that Islam isn't the one true religion. It's just a religion that is like has a lot of depth and beauty in it, and it's to each their own. Like I have a big beautiful Muslim family, and I still go to the masjid and I pray, and I still do dhikr, and sometimes I go to dhikr in a group, and that's very healing to my soul. But I'm no longer only Muslim, and I don't think I'm gonna go to hell for that. Obviously, like in the Quran it says Allah is the most merciful and the most gracious, so that wouldn't really make sense. And I don't know, like I hope I'm not confusing anybody, but like to be up here, and I hope that we can have a conversation because I really don't believe that Islam is the one true religion.
Okay. Do you believe the Quran is true at least?
I think that it has like a beautiful depth and in the world a lot of kindness. Like I feel like me as an American Muslim, not Muslim anymore, but like being raised in those suits made me one of the like a really good member of society. Like I think it made me kind and gracious and patient with people. I love the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I love his story. I like went to Muslim camp when I was a kid with my brother. I again have like a lot of family that has like wears the hijab, not to say that hijab is necessary. I just think that it also really, really fucked up. Sorry, I don't want to curse. Effed up my perception of certain things. Like for like I had to teach my dad. Not to say that every Muslim isn't feminist, but like, and not to say that feminism is like so great because sometimes it can be not overdone. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it can become this thing where it. I'm not gonna keep talking on this subject, but let me man, I don't know, like Islam made my dad control what my mom wore, and her one true love was fashion, and now I taught him how to be respectful. And not to say, sorry, I'm bringing my own personal thing, but I'm sort of a person. I hope that we can have a really cool conversation because you seem really, really smart, and like my favorite person in the world is Muslim. Her name is Jude. She's hijabi. She's my cousin. She's my best friend. I pray with her. I do wudu, but like again, I'm not Muslim, just not Muslim.
Okay.
Muslim means like a believer,
But
like
you
a
didn't.
believer in God. I am Muslim in that accord.
Okay.
Servant of Allah.
Okay. But I asked, do you think that the Quran, like, is it preserved? Do you think that,
I think that it is preserved, inshallah. Like, but I know the Hadith isn't. The Hadith was written 200 years later, and it was like.
That's not true. But put that to the side. Just the Quran by
Well,
itself.
my Harvard grad, like, she did Islamic studies. She said that, so I guess not.
It's
I don't
not.
know.
No, that's definitely not true, and I could prove it very easily through manuscripts and such. But when
I
it
would like to
comes,
talk about it later.
okay, no problem. When it comes to the Quran, okay, in terms of Islam, I could prove Islam to be true just based off the Quran. The Hadith is literally just the extra cherry on top. But the
But that's
Quran,
where I disagree. That Hadith actually really effed up a
it's
lot
okay.
of things.
I'll get to the Hadith. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. The Quran, okay, Is it
Also, wait, can I say something to someone in the comments? Hey,
No,
my mom and dad's
forget the
relationship
comments.
is
Forget the
fine now.
comments. Forget the
Okay,
comments. Don't worry about the comments. A lot of them are
okay.
trolls and some of them are non-Muslims that try to
I
pretend
get
to be
trolled so
Muslim.
easily. Oops.
Okay.
Okay.
In terms of the Quran, I mean, you didn't really tell me about it. Do you believe that it's preserved? Do you believe it's from God? Is it not from God?
I think it definitely. I think that. I think that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I think he really was divinely inspired. Like he could not write or read, and yet he produced this. So, and it's a beautiful text. Like it's so beyond anything like a normal person can write, especially that time. And even this time, like it's just like again, I have a lot of love and reverence for it. So, I think it was divinely inspired and from God. And I mean, and a lot of this, yeah, that's what I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's from God and he says in it, certainly Allah's only way is Islam, how can
What
there
does
be
Islam mean? Break it down for me. What does Islam mean?
Yeah,
Just
it
you
says
know that, right?
here in Arabic it
No, what
says
does Islam?
one second. It says inna dina indallah Islam. Right. So the only, belief system specifically or the religion to Allah is Islam.
For Muslims. But what does Islam mean?
Well,
Tell
hold
me,
on.
break it down.
But one second. If you
Mhm.
agree that he's divinely inspired, okay, and you
Yeah, so is the
agree,
Bible, so is the Torah,
but one
so is
second.
the Hindu
Hold on.
religion.
Hold on. They can't all be true if they're all saying everything
No,
else is false.
that's my whole
I
point. That
understand, but now I'm
wars
countering your point,
are
ma'am,
being
ma'am. I'm countering your
Mhm.
point, right? I'm responding to that point now.
And I'm recountering. I'm
You
saying
can't
like
recounter
that's
if
the
you haven't even
problem.
heard my reason
No,
yet.
but that's the problem. One way or my way or the highway is
I
a
didn't say
tyrant
my way or the
born.
highway. I didn't say
No,
that.
not your way. Allah's way or the highway, which I understand if God is God, right? But like the fact that all the countries are waging wars on each other because my religion is true, my religion is true, the conquistadors like killed people
That's
over
not my
the
point.
Catholic.
It has nothing
Yeah,
to
that's
do with
my
what I was.
point though.
Okay, yeah,
I
but
think
you
that
interrupted me while I was in the
claiming.
middle of my point.
Oh, okay, sorry. Let you continue your point. I apologize.
Okay. All these religions themselves claim all the other religions are false. Okay. The religion
That's not
itself.
true. Buddhism doesn't. Okay, go ahead.
Buddhism is not a religion by nature, right? It didn't begin as a belief in God.
Yeah, some of them are atheistic, but that doesn't mean they
Right, so
still have a
it's not a belief in
It's
God. I'm
basically
talking
a
about
religion.
that's
Like
not
in
what
college
religion is, ma'am.
courses, it's considered a
It's
religion.
taught, right, in terms of
What
religious
about
course.
Hinduism?
Can I
What
finish the
Hinduism?
sentence, please?
Yes, of course. Sorry.
Okay. So in terms of Buddhism, right, not a religion initially, okay? If it's not a religion initially and people added onto it later on, that's just people inventing something towards a religion, right? Or making up a religion. Okay. But I'm talking about specifically like Judaism, Christianity, Islam, I believe Hinduism also, they say the same thing in terms of their beliefs as well. These texts, right, that these individuals from those beliefs adhere to, all of them say, if you don't believe XYZ, you are not saved, right? Like, for
Not
example,
every religion, but okay.
I didn't say every religion. I'm saying those particular ones,
Mhm.
right? Okay. So,
Abrahamic ones?
yeah, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, right? Okay.
Yes.
So all three of them say if you don't believe XYZ, you are not accepted by God. Okay. Islam says, Inna dina indallah Islam. The only religion accepted by Allah is Islam. The Bible, it says, without the belief of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, our faith is for nothing. Okay. Judaism says, first covenant, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Okay. Now, if all three of those beliefs say that, and say that if you don't believe these things, then they are not religious beliefs that you could just, try to marinate together by picking and choosing what it is that you want to believe and what you don't want to believe.
Okay, so can you give me a point so I can continue, can I converse back? Can you sum up what your point is?
The point is, if all three of the religions have conflicting messages, they can't all be true.
Okay, there's a lot of religions that actually don't have very much conflicting. Like, for example, in Quran it says like meet people like what is it called? We made you tribe and nations so that you may get to know one another. What happened to that line? Like, why are we judging religions based on like, oh, you're gonna go to hell because you don't believe in my religion? That's
Yeah,
like
but the
really
tribes, that's referring to different cultures, right? There's no issue. Like, for example, we don't believe that Islam is an Arab religion, right? Islam is for
no, that's
everyone.
not my point at all though.
No, I
I said
understand.
in
So that line, but that line is referring to tribes and cultures. It's not referring to different belief systems, right?
yeah,
It's
but also there's like the pacifist. There's also the pacifism of like if they wage war on you, then you can fight, but don't wage war on others because you know what I mean? Like it is like a very like it's supposed to be a very peaceful religion, but I feel like there are a lot of hadiths. I'm gonna start bringing in hadith that sort of invigorate people to be a certain way, and sort of hateful. And like the thing is, the Quran, like someone said in the comments, she's Quranist. Low key, like I did leave Sunnism to be a little bit more Quranist, more Sufi. And again, I'm not Muslim. I still love Allah. And like the thing is, I've become very, very spiritual, and I've had a lot of like interesting and very vivid experiences that have proven to me that many religions have a lot of validity and beauty in them. Like I love visiting cathedrals because they're beautiful and grand, and the you know like I like all the religions. Like I appreciate them and what they do for people's lives. Like I go to Bible study because I want to learn about the books that became before Quran. And like I actually like I recently, can I be like vulnerable for a second? I recently, and I'm a bit shaky, I actually went to the hospital recently because I do struggle with mental illness, but I'm fine now. But I was in New York just about a few days ago, and I started screaming and crying about Palestine. I was manic at the time, haven't had my meds in 3.5 months, and I got kicked out of many places because I yelled at them saying their tax dollars paying for children to die. And I was crying, and then 2 Zionists literally found me, not not officers, they would just happened to be Zionists, and brought me to my friend's house. And he was like, dude, I know those people. I was like, how did that even happen? That was like a sign from like a synchronicity almost. Like it feels like a 1 in a million chance that he knew those people. And I was sobbing to them, and they're still Zionists, which really sucks. But I'm not saying that like Islam is bad or nothing. I'm just saying that like it trapped me in a way where I like started judging myself in what I wore and did not feel very free. I started reading hadith too much. I started developing OCD over like the numbers of like times you do the things, but then there's nothing in that in the Quran. And I know the hadith just talks about the prophet and how he did things, but some people be copying it way too much that they lose their own lives, like their own essence, and that's on them. But again, like I don't know, there's reasons why men wage wars over religion. And also there was like a line in the Quran that I was just really disturbed by. And I know my dad explained to me like, yo, it's just like separation, like but it's not hitting, like hitting martek, your wife, over like a fight or something, like to remove her from the situation. The fact that there even is a line about how to control a woman in a marriage sort of disturbs me. And like I don't know. I'm like I don't feel like I'm confused. I don't feel like I need like Muslim therapy. I still go to like my Muslim community in like where I live. I still go to halaqat. Like I still get teachings from people. I have like Harvard grads that have done Islamic studies, sheikhs in my family, doctors, and like I'm proud of my big Muslim family. It's just that I'm happy to be gone from the religion because I feel so much more free, because now I'm studying other religions and I feel very nourished by that, and I feel that is valid. And I don't think that I think that people should, like, if you want to pick Islam, go for it. And like if you want to believe that that's the one and true only God, that's a beautiful experience to have. But I simply don't agree.
Okay. I don't even know where to respond in that. So, in the same way, don't mute her, bro. I thought she was done. Yo. Sorry, one of my moderators muted you.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, that was a lot. So
It was. I'm a bit crazy. Not crazy.
No,
but
I don't mean it in that way. I mean, it's just like, for a conversation to happen, like it should be like, brief points, right? Brief into the
I
point.
literally like went to Egypt. This is how they talk there. Like, and when we speak in Arabic, we speak passionately. We speak a lot. And when I go back there, they let me be me. But in America, everybody just like cuts each other off. And I cut you off a lot, and I'm sorry. But I feel like to be able to speak as if we were in college. That's a beautiful thing. I didn't go to college. You know what I mean? I just want to have a conversation. If that makes sense.
I'm Egyptian too, so.
Oh, wallahi, ahsan. I literally, two of my friends are in Egypt right now. I lived there for a year. It was beautiful. I actually met a lot of like people, artists that actually are famous. Like, I love being Arab. Like, I can't lie, and I love that I was raised Muslim, but I'm not Muslim anymore. I just can't be anymore. Like, I just can't. After I read everything, after my experience that I've been through, after like living in Libya and being like assaulted there because they're so like twisted there, and they're very conservative. So I saw the worst of it because Libya is so conservative, and we went through a dictatorship. You know.
Okay, so let's stick on the religion thing. I don't like to get into politics on TikTok because they don't really like,
Oh
politics
yeah, I don't
stuff.
want to like. Yeah, I got you. I'll stop talking politics. I don't want to ruin your game.
Okay.
Or nothing.
So when it comes to the belief in God, you said before you struggled in terms of believing in God, but now you know that you believe in God. What do you mean by that? What do you mean you know that God exists?
I mean, like, I have been like through lifetimes with pain in and out of hospitals. I've been through worse depressions in my life, like, and almost like I'm not gonna say it, but like. And so I have seen a lot. I think God has really showed himself in my life through many ways that I find to be mystical and magical. And I think that to be alive is to say subhanallah, to be like, wow, have some reverence for the place you live on, and like to know to respect it. And I think cultures and religions and like a lot of people teach that, not only Islam.
Okay.
And
I don't mean to cut you off, but I mean, okay, so you said that you've been listening to my lives and stuff like that here and there, right?
No, not yours. I've like,
Oh, okay.
Oh
Okay,
wait,
my
no, I
bad.
think I literally think I've watched one of your lives like 2 years ago or a year ago, like low key. Like you just came up on my For You page and I
But
was
you were
really
listening. You were listening in this live, right?
Nah, I just came on.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that earlier. Okay, my bad. Okay. So the way that I sort of talk about things on my live here, right, is I'd like to present logical arguments, right? So saying I experienced or this happened to me or I feel, these aren't no knowledge claims, okay? These are belief claims, okay? So when it comes to a knowledge claim, we have a justification for why it is the case that something is true. So for example, when I say 1 + 1 is 2, right? We have reason to believe that 1 + 1 is 2 and not 3, for example, because we could observe, the instances of 1, right? 1 and 1 being 2, okay? But if I ask you, right, how do you know God exists? Well, that in and of itself is a large claim to begin with, right? I don't even make the claim that, God exists and there's such that I can prove it to a 100%, right? Because that's not something that we would say, right? If God was able to be proven 100%, then it would not be the case that, anybody would be an atheist. Everybody would just believe in God, right? Or for the most part. But what we would say is that it is more probable to believe in God. Okay, so knowing, not knowing, not really the issue.
More probable to believe in God? What does that mean to you in specific?
It just simply means that the proof in terms of the existence of God and the logic and evidence that we have in regards to our universe and all of these things, it is more likely that God does exist as opposed to not existing, right? It makes more sense for there to be a God as opposed to not.
May I, what it's interesting that scientists, I believe in God, are
Sorry,
a lot
are
of
you,
time.
if you're vaping, like, please
No, I'm
don't
not
do
vaping.
that on the live.
Candle.
Oh,
Candle.
okay.
This is-
Sorry, my
this is-
comments are saying that.
And if I do it off of screen. I don't want to ruin your thing, and I don't like. Let's not. Okay, but I like when I did do it, it was off of screen, so I don't think it was a problem because
Just
they can't see.
okay. If you are gonna do that, if you need to do that, just keep the camera off, okay?
I understand, so I won't do it again. Don't worry.
All right. Okay, so
Anyways.
yeah, so now let's just put the God thing to the side. We both believe in God, okay? As it pertains to God, right? Do you believe that there's only one God, or do you believe there are multiple gods?
I think that there is one and only God, but there also are different aspects of God that manifest in all these different ways that produce all these religions. I think that there are like goddesses and gods and also just one god figurehead. You know what I mean? And I think that the universe is unraveling in this way that has to do with, of course, math and physics and reality physics.
Okay. Well, physics doesn't tell us if God exists or not, so.
Well, no, everything does. Like the way a flower goes, and then physics and math, like you can actually find very many patterns that show, and this is an Islamic practice actually that used to be a thing, like in Persia or whatever.
Okay. No problem. So, all right. So you believe there's one God, but that there are multiple gods that manifest from that one God.
Yeah, just
yes?
like Greek gods and
Okay.
like Hindu figures.
But
And I
even
really think these
even
energies, and I think that demons and angels really do exist, and jinn really do exist. And where
I definitely agree, jinns definitely exist, but
And can I say something? Actually, like let me be real, like I'm schizophrenic. I see things, and they're always spiritual. And I talk to my uncle who is Sufi and religious and Muslim and prays 5 times a day for like forever, and very holistic man, very smart man.
y'all don't pay me enough for this, bro. You do not pay me enough for me to sit here and do this right now, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all do not pay me enough to actually sit here and have these conversations, man. No way. There is literally not going to go anywhere.
Do you now see why I muted her?
All right, but let me do that stuff, okay?
Sure, but bro, like, yo, do you know how long that was, bro?
Huh? Yeah.
Do you know how long she was going on a tangent, bro?
What'd you say, Golden?
No, I was saying, man, Allah reward you for having the patience to deal with her.
Hey,
I think,
For
for
real.
funny originally, I mean, may Allah forgive me, but I think the sister needs help.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know, it's
something.
not even funny anymore.
Oh, there you go.
Clearly,
That
bro.
mic was not working before, but there you go. Yeah, no, it's not anything against her. I think when she said that she's like medicated and stuff, I realized like it's not gonna be good. Like it's just that's an individual marfu al qalam basically. Like it's not something that any of us could fix or anything of the sort. That's between her and Allah, and may Allah grant her shifa. I mean, that's all. All right.
Oh no.
What?
Muted the wrong person.
Yeah, it's Ren, it's not anything against you. It's just when you said that you are medicated and all of these things, like
Holy, there's so many people muted.
what are you talking about?
I'm trying to unmute someone, bro.
Okay, go do that in the comments. Ren, listen, TikTok is not family friendly, okay? There are mean people on TikTok, and I would prefer I prefer not to converse with each other. I think it's better for you to maybe I mean, I won't say it's better for you to stick to what you believe, but I think it's just the conversation's not really gonna go anywhere. That's all. I just don't see it getting further. Bro, of course the Christians are saying you could have dropped her more politely. Okay, bro. Hello?
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Doing alright. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty fine. How can I help you?
I mean, I was here the other day. We were doing some reading, but now I was trying to see if I can get your opinion on John 15.
John 15 what?
John 5. I mean, the whole entire chapter.
The whole entire chapter. Okay, what do you want to prove with John 5?
I mean, just I'm driving right now, so I can't really get the whole context right now out to you. So if we read it, I mean, it could be self-explanatory. I'm just trying to see what's your point of view on it.
John 5 is like 50 freaking verses. You want me to sit here and read all of John 5 right now?
All right, fine. Since I'm driving, I'll just leave that as homework, I guess, if you even want to, like.
Dog,
get
you're not
into it.
giving you're just telling me to read the passage. I've already read the Bible. What do you want? Like, what's the point you're trying to prove, bro? Okay, never mind. I guess not. Bro said your homework. My guy. Hello? 23-year Dagestan. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, I got one quick question. So why is it that, many of you Muslims, like, why is it that you guys are so hateful, towards people who aren't Muslim? Why do you guys believe that some people, if people who don't believe in God are going to burn in hellfire, and suffer for eternity? Why do
Your
you people
name
believe that?
your name is Exodus Rebirth. What are you? Christian, Jewish, atheist?
Atheists, that's more
Okay.
logical.
We're not the only people who believe that. You understand that, right?
Of course. Why do you
Right.
guys specifically?
Why do we believe
I
that?
know Christians believe it too.
Christians believe
Yeah.
it, Jews believe it, Muslims believe it. Pretty much every religion that believes in God believes that if you don't believe in their religion, you're going to burn in hell.
No. Jews don't believe that though. Jews actually don't
They
believe that.
literally say, if it's the case, your brother tempts you to believe in other gods to unalive him and show him no mercy.
But they also believe. Well, I was told that some of them believe that their way isn't the only way. Jews also believe that there's other ways
Yeah,
to know God.
there's kumbaya people. I don't know if you were listening to the live, but we just had a kumbaya lady up here. We had two actually in this live. So there's kumbaya in every religion. That doesn't mean that the fringe people with fringe opinions are right?
Yeah, what I was told is actually part of their religion is actually
Okay.
doctrinic, but whatever. But the point is, okay. Anyways, the point is, why do you people believe that? You didn't really answer my question.
Yeah, we believe that because God says that the only test that we have on this earth is to find the true religion, right? Or to find the true belief. So if it's the case that the true belief comes to you and you reject it, then you would be held accountable for that. That's like the one thing that is important in this life, is to know who God is and what he has to say in regards to how we live our lives. So if you reject
So as an
that,
atheist, I would burn in hell. I mean, as an atheist, I would burn in hell, according to you.
if you die
If I,
upon if you
yeah.
die without becoming a Muslim, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty much it, and I disagree, and I'm your enemy
Okay.
for the rest of your life.
I didn't say you're my
Okay.
enemy. Okay. Emotional man, bro. There's nothing funnier than an emotional man, bro. Hey! Look who's back.
Wait, you remember me?
Look who's back. Of course I remember you.
Itachi Uchiwa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. But hey, don't get it wrong though, okay?
Okay.
It says Islam is true. Prove me wrong. I'm here to play the game. I'm not here to be
You're trying
converted or anything
again.
like that.
You're trying again.
Hey,
Did you do
I'm
your
to try, bro.
homework?
That's
Did you do
that's
your homework
something
from
about
last
me.
time?
I wouldn't say so. No, I wouldn't say so.
So you didn't do your homework and you're coming back to challenge me.
Yeah, I forgot the homework. I'm not gonna get
You
a bad
forgot
grade.
the homework?
Yeah, I forgot the homework. Am I getting a bad grade?
I'm just gonna press you. I'm gonna grill you on the same thing again.
You gonna what?
I'm gonna
Oh
grill
yeah,
you
I
on
know.
the same thing again.
Yeah, I'm expecting it. Do you wanna try?
Yeah,
I mean, if you remember.
sure. Do you have an argument?
Yeah, I think yeah. So I think you asked me a question last time, right? You said, what would be like a proof, like an evidence, something that would make me believe in Islam, right? Which is that would be the universal religion for everybody, right? And I was saying that I need more knowledge, right? You remember that? And then you say, what is that knowledge and stuff like that. And then I think I have the answer. I think, okay, at
Okay.
least that's the main point.
Go
I think,
ahead.
okay.
What's the answer?
Yeah. But I want to answer that by asking you a question.
Okay.
So you see, for example, the universe, right? Let's look at the universe, okay? You see how all religions, all of them is always, it's most of the time they're always pointing at the universe, saying, okay, this is the proof that we exist, okay? So let's assume that all religions have one all specific God. Right? I mean, all religions is saying everybody, like their own God is saying it's the universe, right? It's the God of the universe. But let's assume that each specific religion have their own God, right? I mean, obviously. So is the universe itself giving me a sign is this universe pointing to one specific religion? Because I don't see that. Like, how would he answer that? Like,
No, so each religion, right, for the most part, claims to believe in the one true God who is the creator of the heavens and the earth, right? But that doesn't mean that the religion itself is true. Okay? The
Of course, yeah.
premise that God is the creator of the heavens and the earth is true. But which God of which religion that is, there can be only one actual one that's true. Okay? They can't all
Mhm.
be true. All right? So that's what I think that we spoke about that a little bit last time,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah.
If there's a
So
mistake in any of the religions, then that religion is not true, right?
yeah, that's right.
So
So basically, what
go
I'm
ahead.
trying. Oh, my bad. You
No,
good.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
So basically, what I'm trying to go at to is that, for example, universally speaking, right, especially specifically like sciencely speaking, there is no specific sign or anything, right, like no religion or no specific God in a religion has been proven to exist yet, right? Is what I'm trying to tell you.
What do you mean by proof? What type of proof?
Like so, for example, people study the universe, right? They study the universe, science, and stuff like that, right? And
Okay.
so, yes, you might, from you studying it, you might find that the universe is very complex, and you might think, oh, there is a creator, or you might look at it and be like, oh,
That's one argument that people use, but
yeah,
it's not
exactly.
it's not the only argument that people use. I already gave you an argument last time and you got baked
Yeah,
on it. You remember
I
that?
did give
You
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So there's
So no,
many
wait.
there's
What I'm trying to
what was that?
no, what I'm trying to go into,
Okay,
okay,
go
so
ahead.
and then from there you can say, okay, maybe God exists, right? But what I'm trying to say, from the universe itself, why is the universe not pointing directly to your specific religion? Basically, I'm saying.
Yeah, so it doesn't do that, right? The universe itself is a creation. It could be a sign that God exists, you're correct, right? To which
Yeah,
all of the religions believe this already, okay?
that's
But
right.
the
Yeah.
way in which we actually know which one is true or false is based off of what the religion itself says, right? What
Okay.
their book says, what the text says, okay? That's how we validate one as being true as opposed to being false and vice versa, okay?
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true, right? And for me, I think that's not reasonable, because the reason why I say that, because if we do it like that, so does that mean for it to no, listen, for it to be reasonable, does that mean we have to study every single religion and say that
Well,
okay, now we have to understand the book, their stuff like that, and then blah blah blah.
no,
Think about
no,
that for a
you
minute.
have a good way in which you could eliminate some over others, right? So, for example, through the conversation that we had last time, we came to the
Yeah,
conclusion that one God is more probable than multiple, yes?
that's right. Yeah,
Right. So you
yeah,
could
of course. Yeah.
eliminate the religions that claim to believe in multiple gods via that
Mm-hmm.
system because it's more likely that there's only one. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we could also eliminate religions that, are ethnocentric, meaning that they are based off of a particular race or ethnic group or whatever. Okay? Meaning everybody else is not part of the religion except for the people of that particular group, right? So in
Mm.
that way, you could also eliminate Judaism, right? Because Judaism is for the Jewish people, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have different criterias, right? The religion is meant for everybody. The religion has to be logically sound. The book itself has to also be logically sound. Okay. Now, my argument would be is that the Quran is the only one that's going to be able to withstand a challenge like that. Okay. You could become a Muslim based off of just the Quran, and if you find something better than the Quran down the line, okay, then convert to that religion. But I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I'm telling you now, there's no other religion that would be able to withstand such a basic criteria like that.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Very good. Okay. So you see how you gave examples, right? Like you said, Judaism, Christianity. So what happened if you missed a religion that you don't know about?
if you missed it, well, we also believe certain traits. All these religions believe certain traits about God, meaning they believe that he is merciful, they believe that he is good, meaning he wouldn't be judging, even if we don't even know what that true religion is, right? He wouldn't judge you on what you don't know, right? He judges you off of what you do know. Okay. You understand?
Okay, good point. That's a good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what the
Okay.
Quran says as well. Allah, he says, we do not test a people before we send a messenger to them, right? So if a people don't receive a messenger, they would receive the message on the day of judgment, right? To which they
Yeah.
would accept or reject it on the day of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So, but do you at least agree though that God could have made the way that the universe itself can speak and be like, hey, go straight up to Islam? Do you agree? It's a possibility, right?
Yeah, he could have done that, but the whole
And
point
what's
is
your
that,
reasoning?
yeah, the whole point is that this life is a test. It's temporary. The very intention or reason as to why we're here is so that we could find out the truth for ourselves, right? God gives us the
Okay.
ability and the tools to be able to do that. He gives us a mind, we have intelligence, we're able to come to this conclusion. And once you do come to that conclusion, right, you realize that this world is not that important, right? It's the next world that's actually important. Because
Okay,
this
very
one's
good. Okay,
temporary.
nice. That's a good answer. Okay, but how do we know that life is a test if your religion is saying it, but the universe itself is not saying it?
Because we all agree that life is temporary, correct?
Who?
All of us.
Who's
I
who?
mean, we believe that life
Temporarily. Oh, but I feel
temporary,
like when you
yes.
say test, okay, but I'm talking about the test
No,
part.
I know, I'm getting to that. So if we
Oh,
all
okay,
agree, if we all agree that it's temporary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to also ask the next question. Well, is there more than just one life, right? To which you have multiple religions that obviously believe that there is this life and the next life, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's not just Islam, it's not just Christianity. You also have Hindus, for example. They believe that they're
Yes.
in reincarnation, and other beliefs of the sort, correct?
Yeah.
So if all of these beliefs, right, are saying or agreeing that there is two lives that we live, and this one we know is temporary, okay, then we want to know more about the next one as well, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So if that's the case, right, we have something which is called Pascal's wager. Have you heard of that before?
Nah. What is
Okay.
it called?
Pascal, Pascal, wager, Wager.
What about it?
Okay. So basically what it says is it breaks it down into 4 boxes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Column 1 is God exists. Okay, so going down this way would be God exists. So there's 4 options, okay? And ultimately, it brings you to a 50-50 of whether or not God exists. And a 75 to 25, so 3 out of 4 of the boxes motivate one individual to, believe that God exists, even if it's the case that he actually doesn't. Okay, so I'll tell you the options. So it says, if God exists, and what was it? Hold on. Let me look it up really quick, just so I don't mess it up.
Yeah,
One
that's
sec.
fine.
I don't know why I just blanked out right now. Okay. Okay, so we believe in God is in the top. All right, and it says yes and no. Okay, so there's 2 options, yes or no. Okay, and then it also says, oh, actually, you know what? Let me just put it on the screen. That'll make it a lot easier for us. Okay. There we go. You can see?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Pascal's wager, and it says there are 4 options here. Yes, we believe in God, okay, and God exists. All right. So we have yes, we believe in God, and no, God does not exist. Okay. So you would have wasted time and effort. Okay. So that's the first option. All right. Then we have we believe in God, yes, and God exists, yes. Okay. You would have eternal salvation, right? So far you have 1 and 1, correct? So one where you're wasting your time, the other one where you're guaranteed something good. Okay. We believe in God, no, and God exists, no. You would say you spent your time usefully. Okay. Makes sense? Okay. And then we have God exists, no. Sorry, we believe in God, no, but God exists, yes. You would be eternally damned, right?
So I'm here right now.
Okay. Well, you would be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or here. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a 50-50. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But which one of these 50-50s is going to
The
give you
safest.
exactly the safest,
Yeah.
right? Not only, right, because we're not, again, this isn't an argument just for the existence of God.
Yeah, of course.
I'm bringing this more so in terms of whether or not there's an afterlife, okay?
Yeah, that's
To
good.
be on the safe side, it would actually be better for you to be in this box or this box, correct?
That's right.
Right. So, if that's the case, right, if it's more safe for you to be on this side as opposed to the other side, then you have no reason to reject the belief in God, right? No, you'd be more justified to believe
Yeah,
in
more,
God
yeah,
as
of
opposed to
course.
not believe in him, right?
Yeah,
Right, because you want to protect yourself in the event that there is another life after this one, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
okay.
if that's the case, combined with the other argument that we had the last time, okay, you don't have a reason that you should not believe in God, right? If anything, now you have more reason or should be more inclined to believe in God.
Yeah, I think I'll go with that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I don't have a reason. I will say now there's more. Yeah,
There's more justification and more
exactly. Oh,
inclination towards the
no,
belief.
no. You know how about that? There's more justification of why people want to believe in God, not me though. I
Okay.
see. I'm basically seeing it. I'm not saying it
So
applies
if
to me.
you're so basically, if we're just going based off of this, because I already got
Yeah,
you to concede to the other argument
yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
God's
yeah.
existence himself,
Mm-hmm.
but if we're going based off of just this, and you had a 50-50 shot, okay, let's say
Yeah,
Islam, right, is the only religion that exists, okay,
yeah.
and you either have the choice to believe it or not believe it, okay, and you have a 50-50 shot of being right or wrong, all right. Which one would you take? The 50-50 shot. In the 50-50 shot, would you take your chances of believing in it and it being wrong, or not believing in it and being wrong?
Of course, believe in it.
Okay.
And
So you already have a justification in terms of
yeah,
why you should believe it, but you also have a justification for why you should believe in God.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna. I got baked again, but let's go back. Let's go back to
You
the
already got
part where
baked,
you
my
said.
man. You just said
Yeah, I
yes.
know. Damn, I know. Yeah, I know. You're right. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and let's come back to the test part. Okay. Why people are so confident that life is a test? You know what? Okay. This is a very good reasonable response, right? I'm not gonna lie. The philosophical part, but I want to say, is it really a test though? Think about it. Like, is it really a test if I
all
never?
of the beliefs believe that it's a test. So if
Yeah,
it's the
but why do
case
I
that
have to?
if it's the case that any of the religions is true and they all believe that life is a test, then it would follow that life is a test, provided that at least one of these religions is true.
Yeah. No, I'm not denying the fact that people actually believe. I just want to see how you think about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it is still fair though to the fact that I'm at this God decided to put me in a test where I did not sign in,
I don't
or
believe
I
that.
can
I
I
believe
can
that you
okay,
did sign
oh,
in.
okay, and okay, so but I cannot opt out though, right?
No,
Even though I
but
don't remember.
you already signed up for it. Obviously, you're not going to remember signing up for it.
Yeah.
But you also, I mean, you could quote unquote opt out, but the only way of opting out is if you know,
Yeah,
internally
but
damn
let's
yourself.
assume that I don't believe that, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but this isn't, this isn't the way that you would go about proving a religion. These are all facets of subsets within religion, okay?
Yeah.
So you would have to go through remember when we were talking about the foundation, right? Right? Remember we were talking about if you have a good foundation, then you
like the
build
level
off
of
of it.
knowledge, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
So these are levels, okay? We're still down here. All right. What the questions that you're asking are levels on top, okay? We wouldn't actually be able to prove these things unless we prove the religion itself to be true, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Hey, I got cooked again, but it's okay. Now let's go ahead. Honestly, the reason why I wanted to come today was I wanted to be more specific in mostly the teachings of Islam. Okay, what you
Okay.
guys believe in and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so before I go, I want to first agree the part that if God, demands something out of me, do we agree that it's mostly because, or even 100% because it's for my well-being, right? Like it's not for Him.
Yes.
Okay. So, for example, if he told me, hey, go pray, it's not because he want me to do it, not because just want to be, because he's good for me. Praying is a form of meditation and stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. That's an example, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Very good. So, do you think it's reasonable to ask God? I mean, is it reasonable to God to just give me, explain the system before I accept it?
Is it reason? Yeah, the explanation is there,
Very good.
right?
Okay.
The
Yeah.
explanation is in the book, but the
Very good. Okay.
explanation itself is not a proof that the religion is true, right? In terms of consistency, right? Maybe something would resonate with you and you would feel like, you know what, this actually does make sense more than what I used to believe, for example, right? But that in and of itself, you wouldn't say that this is what proves or disproves a religion. You understand?
Yeah, what would you say?
Yeah, this is just going to be, it's a system, right? So the system is not what proves the religion, okay? What proves the religion to be true or false is going to be the foundation of the religion. You understand?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
So remember last time, the foundation is the rock, the first level, okay? This is where everything else is built off of, all right? If this foundation, remember we said if it was flimsy, then everything would just fall off the top like that, right? But if it's solid, right, everything can be stacked up one by one, and it'll continue to make sense the more you learn about it, right? So this foundation is the belief in God, okay? When you have this foundation, you have a solid foundation, which we gave you last time. I gave you it last time. If you have this solid foundation and you know which God of which religion is true, then everything else that God says, by definition, would logically follow on top of it. Everything that he says would make more sense to you in terms of explaining what it is, right? In terms of the universe, in terms of our life in this world, in terms of the test of this world, our lives in the next world, heaven, hell, all these things, right? The things that you would believe out of faith, okay? They have a foundation, which is God himself, right? Once you get to the belief of the all-knowing, anything that the all-knowing says is going to be true, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very good explanation, but I don't think I can accept that. Why? Because it seemed like you tell, okay, I know you already gave me a good explanations of why, Islam is is the right one. God could be, at that point right there. I mean, me, I'm not satisfied with that answer. Basically, I'm not. But it makes sense. It makes it why it would be satisfactory, right? But the moment you told me because now God has been proven through all that, and now Islam is the right one, you tell me so I have to believe in him and blindly. I feel like that's at
No,
that
not
point it's just
blindly.
blind
I didn't
faith,
say
no?
blindly. No. No.
Yeah, but I feel like
Blind faith means you have no evidence and you have no foundation. Okay? I gave you evidence and I gave you a foundation. I gave you first the evidence of the belief of God, okay? I gave you the reason as to why you should believe in God, correct? Last time, right? And then I also walked you through an argument in terms of what the message of the one true God would look like, right? And we came to the conclusion that this message has to be perfect and preserved, right?
All right.
Right. So upon and analyzing all these other religions, looking at it from that perspective, the only one that would follow to be true, or at least be consistent with that criteria that we made, is going to be Islam. None of these other religions will hold up to that criteria.
All right.
Okay? So
Okay.
that by itself is not blind faith. That is using evidences and using proofs to come to that conclusion. You
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
Right.
So tell me, so once you get that faith, right, that faith, so now what happened once you reach to the perfect religion, to the perfect book, and you see some things is off?
Such as what?
Like at that point, what do you do now? Do you specifically assume, oh, it's already perfect? Now, whatever answer, even if it look confusing, it should be perfect because I already assumed that's already perfect. Do you think that's
That's
a good
not
word?
what I'm saying. No. So in terms of, if you're talking about, like, are you talking about morals? Are you talking about something that's false? What are you talking about specifically?
I would say morals, more
Okay.
the morals part. Yeah.
Morals are not something that you are able to choose as being right or wrong. Okay. There's some sets of morals where we could come to a conclusion that they are inherently wrong or inherently right, right? Such as unaliving unjustly, right? But then you have nuance as well, right? For example, if you unalive somebody in self-defense, right? That person was trying to unalive you and you unalive them instead to save yourself, right?
That's right.
Now, we no longer say that it's wrong. We say that we could say it's more neutral or more towards the right side, correct?
Of course.
Right. But to be held accountable for that thing, right? That's what we want to know. Is there an actual authority here on earth that can actually hold us accountable for these things? Like, who tells us whether or not what we did is actually right or wrong? Right? Who is the one that's going to be able to decide that from us? Because we're all the same, right? We're all human beings. None of us is superior to the other, okay?
Yeah.
Correct? So naturally, I should not be able to dictate what is right or wrong to you, nor you be able to dictate to me what is right or wrong, correct?
That's right.
Right. But so a belief in the all-knowing, if the all-knowing tells you who is right and who is wrong based off of what we know is inherently right or wrong, he is now able to hold you accountable for these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a moral accountability to take into play, as opposed to before, you didn't actually have any moral accountability. You had morals, but you don't have moral accountability. You understand?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean. I definitely do, but I'm gonna just go ahead and skip on that because I feel like I'm still confused a little bit. I don't have much. I don't have much understand what you mean by that. I feel like it's debatable, the part that you say. You know,
Well,
someone.
people definitely tried to debate it.
Yeah, I can sense it. I can sense something is kind of up there, but it's okay. Now, okay, can we just go ahead and then I want to see how you think about some of the teachings of Islam, right? And so that kind of stuff, right? I want to see what you think. Yeah, it's not about really proving. I'm not here to like saying oh, it's wrong or blah, blah. I just want to see what is your reasoning. Okay.
Go ahead.
Like, how do you feel about that? Okay, so for example, you know how the idea of women obeying men, right? For example, there's a verse in the Quran that talks about for example, if the woman is being disobedient, is not following the word of God and all that kind of stuff, you have to what is it called again? You have to make sure you tell them, right? You tell them, you tell them what's right and not, and after that, it says,
Yeah,
if
but
they're not
again,
listening.
that goes into
Right.
morals. You understand that, right?
That's right. Okay.
So that goes into the same conversation you were just telling me before.
Okay. I see. So pays. Okay. It's a whole loop then. Then it's a whole loop. I
No,
don't
it's
think
not a
it's
loop because morality is not something that you would use again to judge whether or not a religion is true or false.
because if you tell me if something's I mean, let's say something's obvious is off here, and you tell me God is telling me no, it's not off, then obviously I will question
What would
God.
be off about that?
Okay, that's where I'm trying to go. Okay,
And how
now
would you
tell me.
hold on? Let me put it this way.
Yeah,
How would
yeah,
you
yeah.
how can you prove that something is off about that?
Based on my personal
Why
experiences,
should I accept
based on
that's a good that's
uh,
okay, that's good.
yeah, I see where you're trying to go. But okay,
Exactly.
okay,
How would
yeah,
you
based on
prove to
my
me that that's right though?
yeah, that's
Right.
what. See, you're trying to trick me here. You're trying to trick
I'm
me.
not
I see where you're
tricking
trying
you.
to
I'm
go.
just
Okay.
asking you the questions that you don't ask yourself.
Okay, that's true. I didn't ask myself that. I'll think about that later. Okay, that's true. Yeah, but it's based on our personal experiences, on the place where you live, and all that kind of stuff, right? And like, and so, but here I wanna compare it to modern society, for example, modern because ethics, like modern ethics, and modern what is it called? Morality is not only based on just personal experiences and blah blah blah.
It
It's
is.
based on it's actually based on science too, actually.
Not really,
Science,
no.
psychology, philosophy. So, for example, in America, whenever they make up rules, they actually use science, they use knowledge, and they use
No.
psychology to really understand the human brain and behavior. So it's
No.
not just coming out of nowhere.
No, that's not true. So
That's not true. What?
no.
I can just Google it then.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because
Okay, you tell me why.
science itself is a philosophy, okay? And in philosophy, we have something called the philosophy of morals and ethics, right? So if science itself hinges off of philosophy, and philosophy itself has a subcategory of morals and ethics, and science is used as part of that subcategory, where you have different people, again, just giving their different opinions as to how we should go about morality, then you still are stuck in the same issue of how do I prove that this is the case, right?
Huh?
So,
Wait,
for
wait.
example, do you know there's certain philosophers, right, that came up with theories of morality and ethics, okay, how we should live as a society and why it should be the case that we live that way, okay?
Yeah.
But this is their opinion, okay?
Okay.
There's nothing that they could say that would actually prove that this is 100% definitively right and this is the way that we should go about this thing. You understand?
Okay.
Okay. So if that's the case, then I'm not obligated or inclined to have to take somebody else's opinion over my own.
Very true.
Right.
I think that's where we would differ a little bit,
Well,
you and me.
why would you follow somebody else's opinion over your own?
Very good question. So I think I will follow somebody else's opinion when they tell me something, and when I follow that action, yeah, most of the time, whenever there's like a moral something like a rule, right? Most of the time, it's not always good for everybody, right? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is good for most people. Sometimes it's not. So the way I see it, I will look at it and be like, okay, so this law right here will benefit most people and decrease what is it called, like have less chances of causing harm,
Right.
basically
Yes, yes, I
less
know.
harm,
That's
more
already
beneficial.
that's
Okay,
already
yeah.
a theory. That's already one of the theories in terms of morals and ethics, right? But the
Okay,
problem
yeah.
with that one now is, let's say somebody is faced with a situation where the example of the train track where it talks about, if there was 5 people on one track
Yeah,
and
yeah.
one person on the other track, but that one person is your family member, okay? Which side of
Yeah.
the track would you choose?
I wouldn't choose my family member. Why? Wait. Okay. No. I'm wait. No, let's just assume. If I choose my family member, I'm giving you a reasonable explanation why someone
You'd
would.
be
I'm not
you'd
saying
be
me.
causing
Hey
more
guys, I'm
harm,
not saying me.
yes.
Okay. I'm not saying me.
You'd be causing
I'm.
more harm by choosing the one person over the 5, right? But it doesn't take into account, other specific issues or other, factors into the situation. It just talks about how many and what is going to be the bigger benefit overall. You have another example where, let's just say, in the event, right? Let's just say that this was something that happens, okay? There is, I don't know, how do I put this? Okay. Somebody robs a store, okay? And they can't find who robbed that store. All right. But they need to set an example to everybody else of why you should not rob the store. Otherwise, the store is just going to keep being robbed over and over again. So far, so good. So they pick somebody at random to
Ooh.
unalive them as an example for the other people.
So meaning the chances of him being innocent is high.
Even though there's nothing to say that he's the one who did it. They just pick somebody at random to be an example. Okay.
Yeah,
Is that morally right or wrong?
that is completely wrong.
Okay. But in that system of utilitarianism, it's right.
Fuck, she got me. Okay, no, but hear me out though. But okay, and that's where again we differ.
That's
You're right.
that's the
You're right.
question.
But
This isn't
oh my
even my
God.
argument. You know that, right? This is an
Yeah, I know,
argument
yeah.
of one
I think
philosopher
I think
against
I heard
another.
it before. Yeah, I think I heard
I
it before.
believe it's Immanuel Kant. He poses that argument against the utilitarians, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah. So you know a lot about philosophy, huh?
of course.
Yeah. I'm also interested a lot about philosophy and psychology, and this is why coming to a conclusion saying that this specific religion is the right one is very, very complicated for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
I feel like this should be and this is why the reason why there's no specific God or religion like universally no specific God has been put, because it's an ongoing debate. It's something that people keep talking about
well,
using philosophy and stuff like that. Yeah.
kind of, but I think it's more so to do with some people just don't know how to leave something, even though they recognize that it's false. They have a tie to it, right? So somebody, for example, who grew up Christian their whole life, it is a lot harder for them to try and, leave Christianity. Even though it does happen, some people do, right? It's hard to leave the religion, not because of the religion itself, but because of the other ties that you have to the religion. Such as, for example,
Identity, right?
yeah,
It becomes
your
identity.
family members, your identity. It's all that you knew growing up, right? But some people are just faced with the fact, right, that it's no longer true, right? Some people
Yeah.
pretend to remain Christian just for the sake of their family. Some people leave the religion and become atheists. Some people leave the religion for a different religion, right? So
Yeah.
it all depends on, first of all, the person, but at the end of the day, it really is just going to be dependent on which one is true and which one isn't, right? And if one is more
yeah.
likely, than the other, if one is more clear than the other in terms of being true, then there's no reason as to why you would reject the one that is more clear over the one that has more doubt in it.
Okay, very good. I think I have another question for you on the part where it depends, where you said the morality depends on like the place, right? So
No,
tell
I
me
didn't
now,
say
okay?
it depends on the place.
Like, because you said that for example, me when you said killing that or like saying accusing someone
Unalive, say unalive.
oh I'm sorry,
Yeah.
unaliving someone at that moment for me it would be wrong, right? Right? For me it would be wrong. But you
Yes.
say in where? Say it again.
But in another situation where if you're like, oh, you mean like the just killing, or sorry, just unaliving versus unjust unaliving, yes? So if
No, I'm
you,
talking about you see when you say when we have a thief, when there's somebody steals something from a store, but
oh,
you don't
yeah,
know, we
yeah.
don't know.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah. And you say it depends on the place, on the location or the system, right?
No, the system itself that you were talking about, I was giving you the refutation for the one that you were talking about.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just trying to see if we can agree with that though before I move on. So I'm saying, so basically you're saying that it doesn't it might be wrong for me, right? But inside of the system itself, that specific location for them, it might be right.
No, but the
Right? Is
point,
that
no. So the point of
I'm confused
the
now.
point of the example that I gave you is to show
Yeah.
you that in and of itself, even if you have an established system, it doesn't prove what is right and what is wrong. You understand that? Because what Immanuel Kant says is that the means don't just be, the ends does not justify the means. So the end result, right, doesn't justify you doing whatever you want to get to that end result, right? So those people unaliving a random person who could be innocent doesn't justify the fact that they should do it because everybody else is not going to do it anymore. You understand? So
Yeah,
it's two different views that clash with each other. You understand?
right.
But neither
And
one of these views is inherently right or wrong. You understand?
what do you mean?
Meaning like this one says this one is wrong, and this one says that this one is wrong. Okay? Both of them oppose each other because neither of them actually is objectively true. Okay? It's just two people's opinions about how morality should be.
I see. But
Right.
where do you stand?
Me?
Yeah.
I believe God is the one that dictates it. That's why it's objective, because it's no longer two people that don't know the scope of everything. It's one individual separate from us who sees and knows everything that tells us what's right and wrong.
Okay. So I think I still want to talk go more in details on the example I wanted to go with. On
Okay.
on the women and the men. So because I feel like I'm still confused. I want to see exactly where you're trying to go. Because I feel like from there, because I started assuming stuff, I don't want to assume anymore. So I want to see if we can actually get to the point. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
go ahead.
can we get to the part where I wanted to see, for example, the difference of men and women?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get to it? So okay, let's go straight to the point. Okay, does the women have to obey the men?
Obey in the sense that if he,
Like a wife and husband,
yes, obey. She has to obey
Okay.
him in the sense of religious matters. So if it's a case that, for example, she's not praying and he tells her to pray, she has to listen to that, right?
Okay.
If it's the case
Just
if it's the case he commands her to do something where he's telling her to go against the religion, right? For example, if she's going to pray and he says don't pray, right? Then she doesn't have to listen to him in that case. You understand?
okay.
So
Okay, I understand.
whenever okay, so obedience is not only due from the wife to the husband, for example, okay? Obedience is also due from a child to their parents in Islam. Okay?
Mhm.
So, for example, if my mom was to call me right now and said, "Hey, get off of the live," with no explanation, I would have to listen to her, regardless of anything. You understand?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But
That's where I want to go. Okay.
but one
Okay. Yeah. Go
second.
ahead.
If my mom calls me right now, unless my mom is a Muslim, alhamdulillah, right? She's not anything of the sort. But if she was to call me and say, stop praying, don't pray anymore, okay? Then I can't listen to her from that. Because now she's asking me or commanding me to break a law that Allah ordained upon me, or God ordained upon me. So you don't obey the creation in something where you're disobeying the creator. You understand?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That was a good example of your mom calling you and saying, "Hey, get off the live."
Yeah.
So you get off. Okay. Okay. At that point, isn't that blind obedience?
It is, of course, because there's
Oh, okay.
nothing,
So,
because these are individuals who are on my head, okay? My parents in Islam, I get rewarded for listening to my parents. I get rewarded for simply being an obedient child to my parents, right? And I would I would be sinful if I disobey them, right? Because
okay.
these are individuals who, even if I spent my entire life trying to pay them back, I would not be able to pay them back for all of the things that they had done for me, especially my mother, right? Your mother
Mm-hmm.
is the one who carried you for 9 months, and she went through pain upon pain in those 9 months of carrying you. And then after the 9 months, she sat there changing your diapers or breastfeeding you, staying up late nights and making sure that you were safe, and that you, when you
Of
were
course, yeah,
sick,
I know
she
what you
would
mean.
care, all of these things, right? That
Of
doesn't
course.
amount to money, right? There's no amount of money or anything of wealth of any sort in this world where you'd be able to pay back your mother for that type of hardship that she goes through. Okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
obedience to your parents is something which is a duty upon you, regardless of religion. That should be the case for everybody, right?
Oh, it depends what kind of obedience, though. I don't think blind obedience should be a duty.
What type?
I
What do
don't
you
think
mean
so.
by I literally explained
Yeah,
to you it's not blind
example. Okay, so
obedience.
your mom calling you, telling you to get off, and you obey. That's blind obedience.
No,
That,
she could have her reason for doing it, but it doesn't mean
okay.
she has to tell me that reason. That's not blind
Ooh, why is
obedience,
that?
right?
Why is that? What can she
Well,
tell
for
you?
example, she could have a headache and she doesn't want to upset me by saying, "Oh, I have a headache," right? She
Yeah.
doesn't want me to feel bad. She doesn't want me to worry about her. She just says, "Get off the live,"
Okay,
right?
but it also can be a bad thing, right? Do you agree?
What would be the bad thing?
Okay, first of
This
all,
is
you ask.
first of all, this is not something
Okay.
which is necessary for somebody to do, right? I don't need to be on live. If it's something which is causing an inconvenience to my parents, there's no reason for me to have to stay here, right?
Okay.
I'm not obligated to stay here. This is something which is of, you know, extra in my life. It's not something which I have to be doing in my lifetime. So if it's not something
Mhm.
I have to be doing, if it's not something of importance to my own life, the
Yeah.
one who has importance, who takes precedence in my life would be my mother, right?
Mhm.
Right. So even if she doesn't tell me the specific reason, right, I would assume the best for my mother, right? Because again, she's the one who she goes through all of these different things for you. She
Yeah.
she does all, like as we just explained, right?
Yeah,
So
you gave a good explanation, I think. Yeah.
naturally, your mother wouldn't want something bad for you, right?
Oh,
Now,
you're right.
obviously, there are certain situations that people live in.
Okay.
There's certain situations that people live in where they don't have parents that are good to them, right? In that
Okay.
case, right, you are still obligated to be good to your parents, okay? But
Okay.
if your parents, okay, are causing you some sort of harm mentally or emotionally or physically, that's not something that you have to subjugate yourself to, okay?
Mhm.
Islam does not subjugate you towards, any type of harm or anything of the sort. You understand?
I understand. Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
So you
But
still have to be good to them, though. You can't just start cursing them or fighting them or anything of the sort. But you could create a safe and healthy distance between you and what causes you harm. Now, I don't mean harm like, oh my God, my mom took my phone away and I'm so upset about it and all that. No, I don't mean that, right? I mean like, you know what I mean? Genuinely, like genuine harm. Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
I see what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But let's go back to a loving mother, assuming that your mom loves you and she would never do something, right? Even though you cannot see her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay. But the problem I see where that blind obedience is very bad, because think about it. Think about it clearly, okay? Somebody that you trust, like your mom or your mother, right? Okay. Because of course you have trust with her, she's your mother, blah, 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 right? If you always obey her or try to, or whenever she tells you something and you say, okay, I'll do it, right? Without asking, I feel like at that point, there is no more critical thinking at all. You know
No,
what?
you could still
Because,
think. So
yeah,
again, blind obedience means that you
mhm,
follow somebody in every single thing that they tell you. Okay.
okay,
But mere obedience, right? Me, caring for my mother or me caring about my mother's opinion is not
yeah,
blind obedience, right? This is a built up
okay,
thing, right? When you build
yeah,
up that for me, my mom is like my best friend, okay? There is nobody in
mhm,
this
yeah,
world that I would rather speak to about anything that I have going on in my life than my mother, okay? She is like my rock in my entire life, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I built up that trust with my mother over the course of my life, right? She obviously loves
Mm-hmm.
me much more than I probably love her, okay? Because she's my mother. She's known me longer than I've known myself, right? But it doesn't mean that I don't love her, obviously. I don't mean it in that way. It's just a motherly love is different from a child to the parents, right? And you only learn about that. She always tells me you're only gonna know when you have your own kids, right? So when it comes to that, right? If I have that trust with my parent, and again, not everybody does, okay? If I have that trust with my parent, okay, then naturally I would, I would trust them the way that they would trust me with certain things as well. But a person who does not work on that relationship with their parents is already somebody who is being neglectful of them, okay? If you're, let's just say, your parents, you know, they try to get you to do family activities with them, and you always brush them off and you say, no, I don't want to right now, I'm gonna go with my friends, or I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that, right? You're already neglecting the opportunity to try and build that relationship with your parents, right? The people who, again, they sacrificed a lot for you. But if you're in the other hand, where you have a case of a parent who doesn't do anything, right? They don't interact with you. They don't try to know about your day. They don't try to know, what it is that makes you upset, or what it is that you like about life, what it is that makes you happy, all these different things, right? Then that's not a person who's, you would even want to feel like you want to be obedient to. This is just like another random person in your life, right? But it
Mm-hmm.
still doesn't mean that you disrespect them in any way. Because that one
Yeah, I
thing,
know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
But I wanted to focus exactly on trust. Of course, your mom and you trust. There's trust, obviously. Like no matter what happened. Yeah, I know. Very strong trust, okay? But I think a problem can still occur. Think about it, okay? So, for example, your mom calling you, right, and say, hey, get off the phone, right? You automatically obey, okay? Because you trust her that she want the best for you, right? That's good. Very good. But think about it clearly, okay? You know how the brain works, right? Your mom might think she's telling you something that is good for you, right? For example, she might say, "Oh, get off the phone because I heard that." Oh no, get off the live because I heard, I don't know, something bad is happening. But in reality, that something bad is not really bad. But she
Okay.
think
But
it's
am
bad.
I,
You see where I'm
so
trying to
then,
go?
but
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but
yeah.
I said to you, am I actually losing anything even if I do listen to her,
Okay.
right? If
Not really. Yeah,
anything,
you're right.
if anything, I would be losing things if I don't listen to her, right? I'd be losing something if I don't listen to my mom, right? If she's
Which
the
is
most important person in your life, right? Your mother should be your most important person in your life. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he says, who somebody came to him and asked him, who is the most important person in a person's life, right? He says, your mother. And then the companion, he asked him, okay, then who? And he said, your mother again. And then he said, okay, then who? And he says, your mother a third time. Okay. And then the companion asked him a fourth time, and he says, okay, who after that? And he says, your father. So it's your mother, your mother, your mother 3 times, and then your father after her. Okay. Not to say our fathers aren't important, but your mother, she goes through a lot more in terms of struggle with you specifically, right? Your father, he also struggles. He goes and he makes a living and he tries to support and sustain the family. But your mother is the one who's with you from the day that you're born, right?
right.
So I would not lose in the example, right, of my mom calling me and telling me to get off the live. I don't lose anything by leaving the live, but I do lose something if I don't listen to my mother, right? I lose the fact that I've made her now, well, I'm losing in the sense that now I have displeased her. I've made her unhappy. I've made my mom upset, okay? And that's something that I would rather avoid. So if I'm not losing anything here, remember when we talked about the probability thing, right? If I'm not losing anything here, but I have a potential to lose something on the other side, then I'm gonna go to the one where I don't have, where I have the potential to actually lose something. I would rather only gain as opposed to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay. Good explanation. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay.
All right, man.
And then
Too much. I've been
okay,
live
I know
3
too much. Yeah.
hours. 3 hours.
Wait, wait. Okay, I really okay. Can you go in another example? Okay, another example. Okay, please let me know if this is too much for you or this is too much for the live. Let me know.
No,
Okay.
it's not about too much. I mean, it's just come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Cause
So you want me to come back tomorrow?
yeah,
And
come
talk
back
about it later?
tomorrow.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
been
I mean,
I'm
you're right. I'm
tired,
not gonna lie.
man.
That was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot.
All right.
Almost an hour. Yeah. You were okay.
Okay, man. It was almost an hour that we've been talking. So,
Okay, you were. I
but
think I'd rather come back tomorrow. Okay.
like I
But
said,
thank you. I'm not gonna lie. I
go
got a big ticket.
go and actually do your homework this time. Okay.
Which is again like reading
Which
Quran.
is to actually know what's being said. Yes, go read in the Quran. Right. Go read the Quran. All right. Just
Okay.
start from chapter 1 and get to. I want you to come back tomorrow at least having read up to chapter 3.
Hey, yo, chill, bro. I mean, hey, I got work too. I don't think I have.
You can
I'll
listen
get
to
that
it in
work.
English. They have it in English on YouTube or whatever language. If you want it in any other language, I'm pretty sure they have it in every language.
Okay, I see. I
Okay.
might forget though.
At least read chapter 2. Chapter 1 is only 10 verses, so it's not that much. Or sorry, 7 verses. So
Yeah, but I might forget though. Okay, I think I
you didn't
appreciate
forget
it.
to come here. You didn't forget to come here.
I mean, I was just scrolling and then saw your like, yeah, let me come back.
Okay.
I appreciate. Thank you, Tashi. Appreciate it.
All right,
All
man.
right, have
No
a good night.
problem. Have a good one. All right, guys. Okay. So, I need one thing and one thing only from you guys. If you haven't already. Well, sorry, 2 things. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button at the top, inshallah. If you have already hit that follow button at the top and you're here and supporting all the time, swipe right. Sorry, swipe this way, not leaving the live, the other way, right? Swipe that way and go and click the recent 2 videos and hit a like button on it and hit repost if you can, please. I would appreciate that very much. And finally, be on the lookout for the YouTube video that I'm going to finish, inshallah, hopefully tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow morning. I will finish it and I'll post it. It will be about Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the Bible. Two conversations with the same one person, but I think that they were pretty good conversations. So I'm going to be putting the evidences that I stated to him. I know I didn't post every single piece of thing that I was saying in regards to my conversation with him, but I will in the video I will have the references and everything for what I was saying in the conversation with him. That way, if you guys want to ever learn about the argument yourself, if you want to go more in depth into the argument or anything of the sort, you would have the resources or at least a starting point to look at, should you want to go and look into it more, or if you just want to know it for the sake of knowing it. Khalas, okay? All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for coming. YouTube, I saw somebody asking for me to make a Patreon. I could do that, but I mean, I don't really want to do that. But if it makes you guys happy, I'll make a Patreon. I think I could post like notes and stuff like that on Patreon and you guys could like view them, right? Can I DM you? Yeah, go ahead. No problem. Hamada. It'd be a good way to support you. Okay. Okay, better. I don't need that, but I appreciate it. All right, I'll try and situate that and let you guys know. I'll post like a link for it or something in the description for the lives. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys for coming. YouTube, as always, I appreciate you guys. I will figure out a way to get the StreamYard going so that way we could move and have some lives on YouTube as opposed to just on TikTok, because I know you guys are a little bit neglected on the side. I'm trying. I really am trying my best now to engage with you guys more on YouTube. I have the chats right next to each other. So I am looking at both chats at all times. But as you guys can see, I don't really engage too much with the comments anyway. All right, guys. I appreciate you all for coming and being here. Salam alaikum to YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. And